Don't be shy, y'all. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Noise.
Come on, y'all. Get ready, y'all. Oh, yeah. All right. We got the mood flowing. We got the vibe flowing. So hope you guys are ready. Thank you guys for tuning in for this show. So it's time to get started, y'all. So we have the beautiful guests on my show. So we'll take the time real quick to introduce everybody real quick. So ladies, can you guys all go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick and give everybody your name, your age, and what do you do? So I'll start with Lena. Go ahead, Lena.
What's up, y'all? So my name's Lena. I'm 22. I'm a Leo. So you feel me? The favorite season. I'm a college student. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, for sure. Go ahead, Sila.
My name's Tila. I'm also a Leo, period. I'm 20. I also am a college student and I just work. I'm also a single mother.
All right, for sure. All right, for sure. Thank you, Sila. And last but not least, Sia, go ahead, introduce yourself real quick.
My name is Sia. I'm actually a Cancer. Okay, period. We some sensitive ass motherfuckers. Sorry. I am 23 and I work, and then I'm also a nail tech as my side hustle.
All right, for sure. All right.
And then I'm also a single mama.
Period.
All right, let's go.
There's 2 milfs in here. There's 2 milfs.
All right.
Period.
All right. Biliote. Okay. All right. So let's get started, y'all. So thank you, ladies, for joining the show. We got some great show for you guys tonight. So let's kick it off. So for everybody that's watching real quick. So since we're all Polynesian on here real quick, and there are a lot of people that's watching that are Polynesian, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that are watching the show that are not familiar with Polynesian. So real quick for you guys, I just want to ask you real quick, what is the dating experience like as a Polynesian? So let's kind of share that real quick, everybody that may not be Polynesian. But I just want to interested to start off with that before we go to the main question. So I'll start with Sia. What's it like? What's it like for everybody that's watching? What's it like to date as a Polynesian?
Like as a Polynesian or as a Polynesian woman?
As a Polynesian woman. What's it like to date as a Polynesian woman?
Man, it's parents are very strict with their girls, and I'm gonna say that. So it's very hard to date as a Polynesian woman because there's certain guys that we are interested in that our parents don't like, especially when it comes to dating from other cultures.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what are those guys that you like that maybe not fit the what your parents like? What are those?
Well, actually, I'm into polys, but you see, polys be they be something else. So then I try to experiment with other cultures, like, and with other like races, but it just does. I think it just doesn't fit me just because I'm into the Polynesian guy having that tradition culture stuff in them.
Hey, what did you say? The poly guys are what? I didn't hear that.
Something
like
else.
basically having tradition and culture within them.
So true traditional or not? Or maybe is that you're saying it's too traditional for you?
No, I'm saying like I'm more into Polynesian guys that are like more about tradition and culture.
Oh, okay, tradition and culture.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, for sure. All right. So what about you, Sila? What's it like to date as a Polynesian woman?
I agree with what she said. Like my parents, like it's hard, but I don't really listen to my parents anymore. I pay my own bills now, so But specifically for me, dating as a Polynesian, like it's always been my dream to have full-blooded kids. And so I try to date within my own like ethnicity and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it's hard because like the Polynesian community is a very tight community. So like you'll be interested in somebody, but somebody has already talked to them. And it's kind of just like something for me, and talking to somebody I know has already talked to, like that's something that I'm not really about. And also like I have a pretty high, like after like my last relationship, I have a pretty high standard now, and it's just, and the guys now that I feel like fit my standard, they either don't like Polynesian women, they like Balongan girls, or they're just, I don't know, they're not tall enough. I'm kidding. No, or they're just not. I don't know. And a lot of Polynesian guys, I feel like all of them already know kind of like who they want, or at least the ones that I talk to. And so when I do get hit up, it's usually for like not dating stuff, like sex stuff. So yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So both of you guys have said, so but hey, Sia and Silly, you guys said you both prefer to date within the Polynesian community. You want a Polynesian man? Okay. All right. And last but not least, Lena, what's up? What's it like?
Dating as a Polynesian woman?
Yeah, Polynesian woman.
So I'm not gonna lie. Growing up, my parents were strict on tradition, but they weren't like always in our personal business like most polys are. I had a lot of leniency growing up. So when it came down to like culture, I always had my parents talking about, you have to date a poly man. Nobody's gonna understand you like your own. And that statement never really sat right with me. But then I was just like, oh, I was like a little kota, so I didn't really know any better. And then I got to college and I was like, it don't make sense. So I started like experimenting on like different cultures, and I prefer it there. Yeah, I do love our Polynesian men. There's a lot of truth to that statement that they told me. It's just, not gonna lie, I can't deal with a lot of poly families. I marry you, I don't, that they had to be like, oh, I marry you, marry into the family. I get that, marrying into the family. I'm not marrying your family. So it's like, for some of them to come achy over me or try anything like that, it's not gonna sit well with me. So I've always found, because I am Tongan American, so when it comes to my dating life, I dig in more to my American side, because that shit be hurting my feelings, man. And in Tongan community, you can't afford to say too many of your feelings. Otherwise, like, hella type of hapa or whatever. So yeah.
Okay. All right, for sure. So you pretty much, you guys, that's something I always hear from a lot of people is the reason why they want to date within their culture, within the community, is because they understand, because our Tongan culture is it's a very what's the best way to say it? There's a lot of things we do, but a lot of people may not understand why, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And is that one of so that's the biggest reason a lot of you guys saying it's easier to date a Pacific Islander man, because they understand the way we are in our families and the way we do things as Tongans and Samoans too.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah.
Okay, all right, for sure. So you guys are, what age were you guys, because I know all you guys said you had strict parents, so like what age were you guys able to date for the first time with your parents knowing?
Well, I started dating at 15. I wasn't really given a consent age. I just knew that I couldn't date in middle school. So as soon as I got to high school, I was in that bitch. I was like, oh, yep.
So high school, what about you, Sia? Like what age were you start dating with that your parents knew that you were dating?
16.
16? Okay. And then what were you, Sila?
My parents always told me to just wait until after high school, because high school relationships don't usually last. So I waited, and also for personal preference, I waited until I was out of high school.
Oh, okay. All right, for sure. All right, y'all. So if you guys are watching, definitely tune in. If you guys are watching live right now, let me know your comments. If you guys Polynesian ladies right now, that's a question I want to ask you guys. If you're Polynesian right now, what was your experience? And share that on the comments, and we'll check that out later. I would definitely love to hear your feedback. And I think I can agree, because a everything you guys said, because I'm sure you guys know this. You know, there's a different set of standards that our parents give the guys and the girls. You know, the guys they just let us do our thing. They just let the guys do our thing, and then I know they're very strict on the girls. So all right, so you guys are ready for these questions? You guys ready for these questions? So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you guys the very first question, and then after that, you guys all have a chance to respond, and then you guys will all have a chance to each ask a question, and then we all discuss the question. So these are actually one of the questions that somebody messaged me, one of my followers, and wanted me to ask on the podcast. So I was going to ask you guys. So ladies, the first question I want to ask you guys is, I know, you know, in today modern day dating, everybody's having sex. Everybody's having those flings or whatever you call it. You may call it for yourself. So
Link.
Thank you.
So this is a question for one of the guys that follows me. He said, ladies, I want to ask you guys, what do you bring to the relationship to attract and keep a man other than sex? So that was a question. So what do you bring to the relationship to attract and keep a man?
Of course, the man asked that.
Yeah, that was a question one of the guys asked me. So that's the first question, guys. So let's say it one more time. What do you bring to the relationship to attract a guy and also keep a guy other than sex? So I'll start it off. Sila, I see. Sila, I see you got something to say. So I guess I'll start with Sila real quick. So go ahead, Sila. Let me know your thoughts.
I really don't feel like a woman would ask that, and it's like not surprising that a man asked that. It's like kind of irritating, but other than sex,
yeah, what do you bring to the table?
It's like that's so dumb, but I don't even like to say it as like this is what I bring to the table in the relationship. Like this is just like what I bring to the table for myself, and if you are looking to be a part of that, then that's what it's going to be. And so what I bring to the table for myself is that I'm a very independent woman. And so I will never ask anybody for money. I make my own money. I'm a very intelligent woman. I'm a very open-minded person. And also I'm very supportive. Like if I'm dating someone, like I'm there, like I go hard for people that I care about. So like, and I also, like I said, I'm open-minded. So like, I feel like a lot of guys sometimes like they have like these dreams that some people would think is just like the stupidest dream ever. And so like, I believe like if somebody's passionate about that, then I'll support you and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't really like saying this is what I'll bring to the table for a man, because fuck that. It's like, I don't know. I'm a boss ass bitch. That's all you have to know. If you're lucky enough to get to know me and see what I will add to our table, then go you. But like, I don't like that this motherfucker really said, explain what you would bring to the table. I don't know. Something about that doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, that.
But don't you think that's a legitimate question? Because women do the same to the men. Like a man has to bring something to the table in order to be with the woman. So that would naturally be for a guy. You guys should also bring something to the table if you're going to be in a relationship. Does that make sense?
Well, I feel like that's what dating's for. You ask somebody on a date, you get to know them as a person and stuff like that, like, and on a personal level. But like just straight up asking, like, what do you bring to the table? That's kind of like that's kind of like a bold thing to ask. I don't understand like why people don't go on dates anymore and find out this stuff personally. But
the reason why he asked that question, I don't know if you guys see, there's a lot of girls out there that they think that just having sex and being pretty is the only thing they need to put into the relationship to keep a guy. And I've seen a lot of girls like that, like, I'm pretty, I got that wop. And and they think that that's all. Like as long like they think a lot of girls out there, they think that all they have to do is just have sex with a guy, and they're gonna keep him. And that's something I always tell a lot of ladies. Like, sex is not gonna keep a man. There's a lot of ladies out there that think that sex is the only thing that keep a man. I tell them straight up.
Can I
Sex-
answer that? Can I second that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because with me, and I'm gonna be very honest, with me growing up, that's how my mentality was that I should give it up in order for me to keep a man.
Exactly.
But then as I got older and as I became a mother, it's like, why should I lower my standards like that? Why should I devalue myself like that when I'm worth more than just trying to give it up in order to keep a man if he's not willing to stay with me?
Yeah, and it goes both ways. Like for a guy too, like just because he has like good dick, if you have nothing else besides that, or the woman, like if you got that wop, you know what I'm saying? Like if all you offer is sex, I'm telling you straight up, it's not gonna keep the guy long term or the girl long term. You have to offer more. What else are you offering besides sex? Because a lot of people think, a lot of young people today or people today think that I'm good looking. All I can, I have, they can have sex with you, and then that's all I need to do. But at the end of the day, it's not going to keep a guy. That's why it's important for people to understand not only what you're bringing to the table, but also what are the things that you're bringing to the table. Are those things? Are those traits or those qualities they bring to the table are things that's going to keep a man or keep a woman around?
I think it also depends on like the kind of person, because some people don't really want much from the other person and some people want a lot from the other person. So I think it just
like, what do you mean?
Like,
what do you mean a lot, or what do you mean?
So like what somebody brings to I think it just like depends on like what you want in the person that you're dating. I think it all depends, because like if somebody might want somebody who's down to be a housewife, and somebody might want somebody like me who doesn't want to be a housewife and who wants to be like the provider. I think it all just depends on everybody's like what they want in the person that they're dating, like, and stuff like that. I don't think everybody wants like the same things, if that makes sense.
Well, if you understand like for most, like if you understand like the dynamics of what both men and women, it's usually the same thing for what most women are looking for in men and what most men are looking for in women. And I think this is a very good question that I got one of my followers asked, because I feel like I do notice that a lot of women and men also, that they don't understand what the other sex wants, and a lot of the traits they have, a lot of things they do, they don't realize that a lot of things they do are not attractive to women and are not attractive to men. So I'll go off what you said, and just listen to you, Scylla. One of the things that you said was, and these are things I do hear a lot of women would say. You said you were an independent woman. You said that you're a boss, boss babe, boss bitch. I don't know I don't know which one you said. You can handle your own, and I forgot what. But I think those are the things I think you mentioned when you was mentioning what things do you bring to the table. The thing I would say to you is just being objective. Like a lot of the things that you have, those qualities, for majority of the guys, those are not the traits that we're looking for when it comes to attracting a female. You said the provider. I'm gonna be the main provider. When it comes to a lot of men, those are not the traits that men are necessarily looking for when it comes to women. Because for most guys, what we're looking for a woman's sexuality. For you guys, it's opposite. You guys are looking for what does a man do to provide to the relationship and provide for you and protect you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm still single.
for now. No, because I do it. I don't know if you guys see it, but I do hear a lot of women say like, I'm independent. I don't want a guy to rely on me. I'm my own provider, and they struggle to find a relationship. And I always tell them about the very traits that you have, and not the things. For guys, protecting and providing is our normal love language of how we show our love and commitment for our women. So when a lot of guys, when independence is a trait that you guys find attracted to a guy, but it's not the same for guys. We don't look at independence the same way you guys look at it. Independence is attractive for you because you want your guy to be independent and provide for you, take care of you as a woman. That's important for you from the man that you're going to date in order for you to respect them. But for us as a man, independence is something that we respect and I admire, but it's not something that I'm going to be sexually attracted to you. I'm not like, I've never heard a guy say, oh my God, look at that. independent woman. I wanna damn, I wanna sleep with that independent woman. Damn, that woman's so independent. Damn, I wanna have sex with that independent. Never heard that. Never heard that ever from any guy. It's always like, look at that beautiful woman. Look at that beautiful woman. Look at that caring woman. Look at that loving woman. That's always the things I hear from guys of the type of girls they look to and they want to like marry or put a ring on their finger and commit to. And a lot of girls I see today is like they have the very things that they bring to the table, like independence, provider. I'm a boss bitch, boss babe. I can do everything on my own. I don't need a man. Those things that they think that's what they bring, but it's not but those are the very things that you bring to the table and the very things that men are not looking for. And that's why I see a lot of women are finding it hard to find a guy. That's my thought. Anybody want to answer that? Anybody want to add to that?
I don't understand why. Sorry.
Go
Go ahead. I talk too much.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't understand why independence can't go hand in hand with like just because I'm independent, it doesn't mean that I don't care. Like I'm not a caring, loving person. Like might be an independent person, but I am also like I know how to like, you know what I mean? I think that men are looking for like the typical like wife and mother, but just because somebody is independent doesn't mean that they can't be that. It's just I don't want my partner to feel like I need him. Just know that I want him there, but not that I need him. Because I don't feel like you need anybody, but you can want somebody there. But I feel like a lot of men just want to feel like, I don't know, I like the thing like that will like, because like if they leave, then what are you gonna do? Like that's kind of like my thing. But I just don't understand why independence can't coexist with like the motherly traits and wife traits that men are looking for.
No, what the reason why independence is not something that we're not attracted to, because like both men and let me ask you a question. Do you believe that both men and women are we the same when it comes to what we look for in each other? Let me answer that question. No, right? So there's a thing like for women, you guys like the things you look for in a man, you're looking for a man that confidence, a man that's strong, that can protect you, that can provide for you. You want that man to. A lot of women, that's what you want. So what the man brings and protects and provides and his resources and how he makes you feel to be protected, to feel safe, to feel loved, that's what you look for. But for men, it's different because, like I said, we're the ones that's doing the protecting. That's hardwired within us as men. We just feel like that. We want to protect a woman. We want to provide for a woman. We want to take care of her. It's just innate within us. So we're not necessarily looking for the woman to do that for us because we're already doing it. That's what we want to do. So we just want the woman to show us that love, that feminine energy, the love, the kindness, that loyalty. And that's what we look for. So when we see a woman that's very independent, it just, for us, is like, okay, like, how do I fit into that picture? Because I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to provide you. I'm trying to take care of you. But the way you're acting, it'll make it seem like you don't need what I can give. So that's why it's unattractive for a lot of guys when they see a lot of independent women, because for you guys, it's what you look for in a man. But for men, we just want a woman that loves us, that loves us, loyal to us, have children, start a family, and give us that kindness and that feminine energy we want. And that's all we need from a woman. And if she happens to be independent, that's great. But there is a lot. But the way you said it was the way you said it was like, I'm a boss bitch. I don't know if you guys. I've seen a lot of women that have that like this attitude, like I don't need, like I'm a boss. I don't need a guy. And then for a lot of guys, like if we hear that, like okay, if you don't need me, then I'm gonna go with the woman that needs me. That doesn't have that wall, doesn't have the energy. That's just gonna come. Hey, come here. I'm willing to depend on you. Then I'm gonna go with her. Does that make sense or no?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys all want an independent man that can take care of his own? Is that something that's attractive to all you guys?
Very.
All right.
Yeah.
So if the guy is not independent and he relies on you, you have to take care of him. Is that attractive to you or no?
Like financially?
Financially, emotionally, everything. Like he relies on you to take care of him. Can you be with him?
So the thing is, I'm sorry, can I answer?
Go ahead. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so financially, I don't know about that because like you guys are natural born, like the whole providing thing, like financial, that's something that's so unattractive to me if that's something you depend on me for. But emotionally and mentally, like if I make the executive decision to date you, that's my promise that even at my lowest mental, I'll still carry yours. So that part I don't mind. Mentally and emotionally, that's something you can nurse. But something as physical drive, as to go out there and earn what you get, like that's a whole different thing, like that's kind of a character flaw for me. Well, it depends. It's not like I'm gonna be like, dang, you want me to pay your medical bills? No, like it's not gonna be like that, but like, like money making. Yeah, that's all I mean though. Like emotionally and mentally, I don't mind that. That's something you can nurse.
But if he's financially relying on you, then you can't do it.
I don't know. I'll be honest, I can't do it.
All right. So Sila, same thing with you. If the guy's depending on relying on you to support him emotionally, mentally, and financially, and could you be with that guy?
Me or Sia?
Yeah, Sila. Yeah.
Me. Oh, I honestly think it depends for me. Just because like if I'm like what's it called? If I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be like the financial, like I'm the one that brings in the money and stuff like that, obviously I want somebody else who is also gonna like, we carry the burdens together of like, we carry the financial responsibility together. But I don't mind being the only person being responsible for the financial stuff, but as long as like we're both putting in the same amount of energy. So like if I'm putting the energy that I'm putting into the relationship, if that's going to be bringing in the money, all I ask is that you take care of stuff at home while I'm bringing in the money, if that makes sense. So like, not like kind of like, so if a man goes out to work, the woman stays home, and the woman usually would like stay home or whatever and take care of that stuff. As long as you have like, if you're working hard in a different way than me, because like working hard looks different, especially like in a family dynamic, like because like I have a kid and stuff like that. So if I'm the one that's gone all day and then I'm the one bringing in the money and stuff like that, if you're home like taking care of everything at home, then I don't really mind it.
So you can be with a guy that stays home and he doesn't have to work, and you take care of all the bills and responsibility.
I feel like I'm saying yes now just because that's what I'm used to. But that could, like, it could change. I don't know. But as of right now, like, I don't, as long as, like, if I come home and, like, yeah, I'm working all day and stuff like that, but then I come home and, like, the house is dirty and the kids aren't taken care of, that's when I would be a little bit upset. But being like a stay-at-home parent is a really hard thing to do. I've done it before, and so I know that it's hard. And so I know if you're doing that, and if that's what like we decided that we're gonna do, you stay home and take care of the house and the kids, then I'm fine with going out and making the money.
Then what are you gonna do when you get pregnant and then you're not working no more?
Well, and then I think that we could like switch off, because
he doesn't want to switch because you're the provider.
Well, I'd like to be the provider all the time. Well, not all the time. Like, obviously, it's nice to not have to like do that. But if I were to get pregnant, and obviously I'd have to plan ahead. Like, I don't want any unplanned pregnancy, so I would obviously like have to plan ahead like what I'm gonna do. And at that point, when I do have another kid, my goal is to be financially like have enough money for myself, like for like to take care of everything and stuff like that when I'm not out.
So you would date a broke guy?
Broke?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because usually when I meet guys, it's the guys that I have been with, they were like independent and they were making their own money before they met me. But like my like personality, my dominant personality usually took over. And so when they came in contact, like that was something that I found attractive, I find attractive when I'm dating. But then when it gets more serious, then I'm okay if you decide to not like make money anymore for your like and let me take over that. Like, but like if right now, like if somebody wasn't doing it, like if I were to meet a guy who wasn't doing anything, like wasn't working or anything, I probably wouldn't. I would actually not probably. I definitely wouldn't like pursue a relationship with him. But yeah.
Oh, so you want the guy to make some kind of money and support.
Before getting serious, yeah. If that makes sense.
Before or even when you get serious, Are you so you willing? So you saying you willing to work for the rest of your life, and the guy doesn't have to do anything as far as work? You're okay with that?
I think, yeah. As
I
of right
know.
now, yeah.
No, I know. Okay, okay. So you wish you're. Are you sure?
Well, not work. Like I'm going to school so that I can have a career. So instead of work, I'm actually doing something that I love to do. So if I'm doing something that I love for the rest of my life and it makes me money, then I can take care of my family. Then yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind.
And you don't need the guy to work ever. That's okay with you.
Like if he wants to, but like I'm not gonna like if we're
He doesn't.
married.
He doesn't want to work. He's just cool with just staying home. He wants you to work and pay all the bills and pay for everything.
Yeah, but I don't want him to view that like I don't want him to feel like not masculine doing that and stuff like that. But yeah, if he doesn't want to work and I'm the only one providing, like if we have this discussion and I say that like I want to be the only one working, can you stay at home and like take care of all the stuff here? And he's like okay with that, then I don't mind.
Okay.
Because it's usually something that I bring up and something that I want.
Okay. Have you ever dated a guy like that was broke and had nothing going on for him?
Yeah, I actually just got out of another relationship actually, like not that long ago, where he was like, where that was like the whole dynamic that we had. Like I would go out, I would make the money, and then he would stay home with our son. But I ended it because like you can stay home and like take it, but like he wasn't taking care of the things I needed him to take care of when I was at work. Like he wasn't taking care of the house the way that I wanted him to take care of the house and my kid. And so that's why I ended things, because if I'm going to do that, you have to like put in the same amount of energy at home, if that makes sense. But yeah, I have dated somebody.
Okay, and we have... all right. You're one of a kind, Sia, one of a kind. All right. All right, what about you, Sia? Yeah, same question. Well, can you be with a guy that relies on you to support him? Oh, Sia, still alive? All right, we'll come back. What did you say? Huh?
Her mic is muted.
Oh, it's all good. We'll come back. No, so the reason why I asked you guys that question, like I know Lena brought it up. She was like, she said that the guy has to bring something to the table, or somebody she can depend on, and she can depend on it for him to support her. And for a lot of girls, it's the same thing. Is they want the guy that can depend on it, support them. See, like, you're probably like the only girl I know that willing to let her be the one to be the sole provider and work, and let him do nothing at all and be at home with the kids. I don't think you'll be able to stay with him long term. That's just my opinion.
Never have, so you might be okay.
But you see, but yeah, like see how you guys, a lot of women, like you guys are all saying like you guys want that guy to be independent. You want him to support you and provide for you. And if he's not providing and supporting you guys, then Lena said like, nah, she's not going to give him no time, right, Lena?
Yeah, none whatsoever.
Yeah, so the reason why I brought that up, because for men it's opposite. For you guys, it's very important for the guy to bring something to the table, to provide, to support, whether it's mentally, emotionally, especially financially. So you guys, of a lot of women, if the guy is not matching you financially or helping you guys grow and you guys can build your family and support each other, if the guy's not doing his part to provide and protect, you guys, most women won't be with that guy. But for guys, it's opposite. Like we are totally fine being with a woman that doesn't necessarily have to work. Yeah. So for me, it doesn't matter. So for me, when I meet a woman, whether she works or doesn't work, I can still work with that. I'm okay if she goes to work and we both work and support each other. But if she chooses to stay home and never have to work for the rest of her life, and I have to take care of that, I'm also fine with that also. So for men, it's because for us, it's natural for us to protect and provide, because that's our natural way of us of being in that role in the relationship. But for you guys, It's opposite. Of course, it's modern day. You guys have to go out to get your own money. That's 2021.
Yeah.
But if the guy's not doing his part, you guys are gonna cut and find another guy. But for guys, that's why independence matters for you guys. Because for you guys, it's important for women to have a guy that can take care of them, because that's what you guys want out of your man. But for the men, we don't necessarily need an independent woman, because we're totally fine if she doesn't work, or if she works, she doesn't work. But for a lot of guys, we just prefer for her to stay home, take care of the kids, because once you have kids, somebody has to stay home. It's like somebody has to stay home. So it's always natural for the guy, like, if you have kids, then I'd rather just have the woman take care of it, and then I'll just go and get the bread. So that's why for guys, like when we see an independent woman, we know that if we have kids with the independent woman, we might have to fight over, okay, who's going to take care of the kids? Because for me, when I have kids, I'll prefer, I don't want to stay home and take care of the kids, because I like to work. So I want to be with the woman that if we have kids, we're not going to argue, okay, who's going to stay home? No, I'm not going to stay home, because that's just how I am. I want to be the one to provide. So I'd rather be with a woman that if she works right now, it's cool, but then she understands that when we have kids, then she's okay with staying home with the kids and take care of our kids. And then I go to work, and then we can get some babysitters to take care of the kids, and she can go to work again. That's fine. But that's why the independence thing, like I told you before, that's why a lot of guys don't want that, because they know the independent women, when we have kids, it's like we're gonna argue who's doing this. But for a woman that's very dependent on the man, that's willing to let the man come in, we know it's gonna be a natural flow. We're gonna come together, have kids. The kids get born. I know she's gonna take care of the kids. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go and do what I do and go work. And there's not gonna be any debate on who's gonna stay home or not. But that's why we always prefer to find a woman that's dependent, not independent, if that makes sense. Let me ask you guys this question. If you guys had kids, would you prefer to stay home and let your man go to work?
Yeah, I definitely prefer it that way.
Okay. What about you, Sila? If you have kids, do you get a week to rest and then back out there, go to work? Or do you want to have, when you're pregnant, have a kid, you want to just take some time off and raise the kids and let the man go to work?
I don't.
Because you've been a mom, so you have a kid already, so you already know what it feels like. So when you have a kid, like, do you want the doctor to tell you, hey, you got 3 days to heal up and you need to go to work? Or would you prefer to be with a guy, like, once you have kids, you know that you can take as much time as you want, he's gonna go take care of his business?
I don't necessarily want to be the one that stays home, just because my whole personality is that I like to be in control of things. And so I don't necessarily want to be the one that stays home, but I do believe when you first have the baby, to take time to spend time and establish your that you're a mom to the baby. But when I first had my son and I was with my ex, I went back to work a month after I gave birth, and he stayed home. But ideally, I would have wanted to stay home a little bit longer, but I didn't really mind going back to work right after I had my son. And I also had enough money saved up to where it was okay, if I didn't go to work. And so that's how I would see it happening again, I think.
Okay. All right, for sure. See ya. She back.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. So, see ya.
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked these two. Would you prefer? Would you be with a guy? Hey, would you be with a guy? Would you be with a guy that? Can you be with a guy that you have to support and take care of him?
I can. I'm able to be with a guy that can support me and be able to protect me, but then at the same time, it's basically what Sila was saying, being independent, especially as a mother. It's kind of hard trying to trust another person, especially when you have a kid, because it's not like every person that we talk to, we want to bring around our kid. It's just we want to know if it's the best person to bring around our kid.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is, can you be with a guy that you have to support him?
Oh, no, I can't. I can't
Yeah.
because it's like I'm taking care of a second kid.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying is like that's why to answer Stella's question, you asked like how come why independence, why for men it's why for you guys it's no you guys see that as attractive for men, but why do a lot of guys don't see that attractive for women? That's what I'm saying is for you guys most women can't tolerate a guy that you have to support, because for you guys it's important for you to have a man that can take care of you, because that's just the way you want the things that you look for in a man. But for us it's the opposite. We don't necessarily need the woman if she can provide for us, it's cool. But we also, for a lot of guys, like because our natural way of showing love and commitment is providing, protecting. That's just how guys are. So it doesn't. We just prefer our woman to stay home and take care of the kids, and that's why if you're out there saying I'm very independent, then what you're literally, so for a lot of guys, the way they interpret that in their mind is, oh, this woman is going to be very combative and not fit the natural role of letting me be the provider, because there's always going to be issues to figure out, okay, who's doing what. So it's easier to be with a woman that just comes in, we depend on each other, and then when we do have kids, then there's not going to be an issue that who's going to stay home, because we already know how things are going to work out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so but yeah, we'll move on to we'll move the same questions. Yeah, anybody want to answer that question? So to Lena, I'm sorry, Lena, that's the same question I asked Sila. So what do you bring to the relationship? What do you bring to the relationship to attract and keep a man other than sex?
So I've never really had the mindset that sex is what keeps a man. I don't know well, I'll let you know right now, I was raised by men, like all men. I barely have any girls around me. There's like one girl per 4 boys in my bloodline, like for every sibling. And because I was raised around men and there were some good men, I always saw what I knew I wanted, right? And like they're very hardworking men. They go out, they make the dough and come back. What I noticed is that most of them, all they wanted to do, they didn't care about all the stuff that you said. Like I agree with that. They cared about being home. So it's like, it's always worked for me in a sense. I was always that home for them, like to know that you're mentally and emotionally taken care of here.
Yeah.
Like your battles are out there. Like, but when it comes down to Dad, hold on, I'm on a call. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, Polly.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so that's kind of what I noticed always worked, like because looking at the men in my family, knowing that everything that they always wanted was to just make sure that, their battles start outside the front doorstep.
Yeah.
It doesn't start at home. So I've always tried my best to make sure they knew that they could talk to me whenever they want, but I was never pushy about it. Even if we had to sit in silence for like 2 hours until you're ready to open up, I was never one to bug talking about, oh, tell me how you feel. I feel like it's a vibe that your dude would naturally feel. He'll naturally know whether he can trust you outside of, these societal barriers when it comes to men. Like everyone's always talking about, oh no, you can't cry. Who the fuck said men can't cry? If you're crying all the time, we gonna talk, but I've always been like that, like a kind of like a best friend, like a little sanctuary for them. That usually works for me. Like, yeah.
Okay. So I was trying to figure out, so what specific things that you bring to the relationship?
Okay. I definitely agree with Sila when she was talking about like independence and like being intelligent and all that. One thing I will say is like I never stamp it. When it comes down to to my whole relationship, I carry my own weight emotionally, and I'm a very accountable person. So when I come down and I get into a relationship, the first thing I talk about is accountability. I'm super open-minded when it comes to stuff like that. But the financials and stuff, that's a given. Like it's already there. I'll step in for you emotionally. I'm just like that best friend there.
Okay. All right. So no, those are, just listening to what you said, those are things I believe a lot of men, they just want the woman to be a best friend, to be there emotionally for him. Yeah. I love what you said, for a lot of guys, we have to go out there in the world and fight and conquer the world and do what we have to do to take care of our families. So when we come home, we just want our woman to be there and just give us that communication, that love, because we're already dealing with the bullshit at work and all the things that we go through as men. Shoot, you even said it also, like we can't even cry. That's society. That's the society we live in. So for a lot of guys, like we can't cry. We like, if you cry, if you show vulnerability, if you're emotional, that's you're seen as you're demasculated. You're seen as weak. You're seen as not worthy as a man. So that's why I bring it to you, to your standpoint, Sila. That's why we're always craving for the woman that's the more feminine woman that's not independent, because for us, we just want that emotional love. Like, you know, when we come home, we don't believe, but one thing I do notice, like independent women, like you guys, we don't want to come home and then like arguing what this is. We just want to come home and have peace, and our woman be there to support us. And of course, we're gonna have ups and downs, but that's what we're looking for. Just come home, and then we get that love from the love from you. But that's why for us is independence for a lot of, I'm not saying all, but like for a lot of independent women. I think you said it. Who said it? Was it Sia? You said there was a fear. There's a fear that to allow another man to come into your life to take care of your kids, right? And one thing, so one thing I've noticed about a lot of independent women, you guys have this fear. So it's very hard for you to be emotional, to give your emotions to another man, because there's this fear within you. So because you're not willing to be available emotionally, and you have this strong mentality, masculine mentality and energy, then for a lot of guys, when we see that, we see that we can't break through that barrier that you have, so we can't access you emotionally. But that's the thing that's the very thing that we need from the woman that we want. We want to be able to access her emotions. But because you guys have that fear, that wall, like, nah, like I do see a lot of women, independent women, they have. That's why for guys, like, nah, that's cool. And then I'm gonna go with the girl like Lena just described. This girl's willing to open up her heart to me. This girl's willing to be dependent on me. This girl's willing to show me her emotions, her love. Then that's what men are looking for. So that's why I think that's the thing I do to see this a lot. There's modern day dating. I think a lot of Polynesian women have that. They have this like independence mentality or attitude, or a lot of them have this fear. Nah, I can't show the guy my emotions because I don't want him to break my heart. I don't want him to because I don't want him to disappoint me, whatever that reason is. And because you live that way, then you're like eliminating a lot of men to be attracted to you. Then the woman then out there just being really open and showing her love, her care, that's the woman that a lot of guys are attracted to. I don't know if that makes sense.
Right, it goes good with this.
I get it. Like,
I think
I totally agree. That going back onto the part where you said like a man would rather prefer like a woman that's dependent, I don't know if I would agree with that, because I noticed that no matter like you can go with some, I think what I feel like you're trying to say, or correct me if I'm wrong, is like you'd rather go for like there's nothing wrong with having an independent woman, but an independent woman that oversteps her role like in the relationship, that's when things start to go south, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. So what I was said, I'll make it simple. So for men, what we want what we want from women is access to your sexuality. That's what men want. For you guys, you guys want what you guys want from men. You guys want access to what our resources and what we can bring to the table to provide and protect for you. So that's the difference. That's how we see. That's what we look for in relationships. For guys, we don't care how much money you make. We don't care whether you go to college or not. That doesn't matter to us. That doesn't diminish your worth and value, whether you have a good job, whether you go to college. We just want access to your sexuality, to your love, to your kindness, to your sincerity, to your emotions, because that's what we want from a woman. For you guys, for women, you want access to a man's, what he does to be able to provide and protect you. You want your man to protect you, provide you, make you feel safe. And that's the type of man that you guys want. So the problem with independence is, you said independence has nothing to do with your sexuality as a woman. So that's the problem. That's why guys are not attracted to independent women, because we're attracted to your sexuality. So independence is not your sexuality. So we are always going to be attracted to a woman that we be able to be sexually open to us, but not only on a physical level, but mental level, emotional level, spiritual level. So she's willing to open up her sexuality to me, not only physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. That's the woman I'm more attracted to, but not the woman that's closed off her sexuality because she has this fear like the guy's is gonna come in and break your heart, or she has this independent attitude or mentality. Oh, I don't need a guy that has nothing to do with sexuality.
Right.
I mean, because a lot of the, like, I'm sure you guys see it. I see a lot of independent women, absolutely like beautiful, got
Right.
good jobs, got good careers. They have all these things, but they can't even attract a guy. But the problem is the reason why they can't attract a guy is because they don't allow men to have access to them, to their sexuality, and that's what's stopping them for a man to come into their life.
Okay. Makes sense.
All right, Sheila. Before I go to Sia, do you want to say anything? Do you want to respond?
Sorry, I
Sheila,
was thinking there's somebody else ID. See, you got your ID on?
Sheila, do you want to say anything? Sheila,
Oh no,
that's all.
I get what you're saying. It's not me wanting to be the financial provider. It's not so much that I'm afraid that a man's gonna come in and break my heart. It's just that like I grew up broke, and I grew up with nothing, and so I worked my ass off to make sure that I could give myself everything because I grew up with nothing. And that's like not trying to shame my parents or anything, but like I didn't grow up with a lot. And so like it's just like the fear that like I've worked so hard for this that like I don't want to like, because like when I was a kid, obviously like my financial dependency was like I was financially dependent on them. And so like it's just a fear of that like if I give up this spot of me being the financial provider, it's just like the fear that I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, so I just like that's why, because like I worked really hard to get where I'm at in life, and I don't want to like have to give that up, if that makes sense. But also like if like how I was saying earlier, how like I'm working hard and stuff like that. If a man is working hard too, like like if they're going to school and stuff and they like worked hard to have a career, I'll never ask a man to give up their career. I'll never ask anybody to give up their career to fit the mold that I want. So like it's just like it depends on everybody. Like if like somebody that I fell in love with didn't want me to be the sole provider, like I'd be willing to compromise and be like, and just like go half and half on it. But like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's just that it's not that I'm afraid that somebody's going to come in and break my heart, but it's just that I'm afraid that like I'll end up where I started. And I don't want that just because I worked my ass off to get where I'm at, if that makes sense.
No, I totally understand where you're coming from. Like for me, like I have nothing wrong. I don't see anything wrong with being independent. Like, you know, I admire women and men are independent. But this is the thing that I would say. Women who tend to be more independent, you guys tend to make it harder for a guy to have access to you sexually. You make them work harder than they should.
I think that might hold some truth. Yeah. Not for me, but I think that might hold some truth. Who I am at work and who I am at home is like a completely different person.
I've just seen that like when a lot of those independent women, like they have this fear of letting this guy come into their life. So when they do meet a good guy, right, they because they have all these fears and walls, they make it harder for them to have access to them sexually. So, but one thing I've noticed for like women who are not independent and dependent, and they don't have this fear. It's easy. So when I meet them, we talk, we vibe, we connect, we're able to have emotional intimacy, and we feel that love in each other. So it's easier for me to be with that woman. So that's why I would say for independent women, when guys meet independent women, we just know that it's gonna take a lot more work to get to know you. So, but the thing is, in 2021, in modern day dating, there's so many options, right? So if I got like multiple options and this woman is independent and making it harder for me, and then this option number 2 is giving me all the love and emotional access to her sexuality, all I need from her, I'm naturally just gonna go to the girl that's making it easier for me to get to know her and not putting these walls and attitude and energy out there. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, that's me. It's hard.
Yeah. So you're pretty much gonna have to like you're banking on that one guy that's gonna just go. That's gonna just go. I'm gonna conquer her. I'm gonna go all these whatever you put in front of you. So I'm just saying is for dating, it's all about maximizing on your potential candidates. You want to be able to be available to everybody so you can select the best partner for you. But if you make it hard for yourself, then that means it's only a select few guys that has to be willing to overcome all those things that you're going to put them through just to get too close to your heart. And the thing is, a lot of guys ain't willing to do that, especially today. That's going to take a guy that's very persistent, very confident to do that. And there's not a lot of guys out there that's willing to do that. So, and that's just the thing I do notice. Okay, but yeah. So, Sia, you hear me?
Yes. Where did you go? I think she's in the car. That's why.
He's with the girls. They're probably like mobbing somewhere.
It's hot
Yeah.
summer.
Sorry, I'm in the
Okay.
car.
No, it's good. It's good. Oh, there you go. Cool. So, yeah, you good to go?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so that was my question, guys. That was a pretty good topic, good discussion. So I'll allow you guys to ask some questions, and we'll start with Lena.
Oh my gosh, I knew you was gonna.
I told you before the podcast I was gonna pick you first.
All right, well, this one's geared towards specifically poly men when it comes down to like dating and stuff. I brought this up in my initial answer when we were talking, like at the beginning, but like, do y'all just be letting y'all sisters wild out on your girlfriends? Like, because like this happens very often to people I know, even myself at one point, where it's just like, when it comes down to it, I understand it's like your family and then, your girlfriend and stuff, but like, y'all don't ever be checking y'all sisters about the shit they be saying, like, or they be doing, or like overstepping their role as a sister. Like, some of them be overstepping to the point where like, it's like, damn, nigga, you go fuck him then. Like, you know what I mean?
Or their
like,
moms.
so
For me, sometimes it's moms.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. Like, do you guys ever check in with that? Like, why do you guys keep quiet about stuff like that? For poly men specifically, like the concern will be raised and be like, bruh, stop tripping. And be like, what? And then people usually wait till it escalates and then they be like, and that's why there's so much beef often between like sister-in-laws and like the girlfriend. Well, in the poly community that I've seen thus far.
Yeah, so for me personally, nah. If I'm dating somebody, well, I know my sisters. Well, my older sister, she's cool. Then my second older sister, I know she has a mouth.
It's always
she's really blunt. No. For me, no. I'm not. I don't play that. Like, if I'm bringing somebody to the family, like you're gonna have to respect her. And then if somebody does overstep her boundaries and make her feel some type of way, I'm not afraid to step up and say something about it, or I'm not afraid to wait to walk off from my own family for the woman that knowing I'm gonna love, what the woman's gonna have my babies. So
yeah, that's not me. It's not even about like, I'm not like we don't even want you to walk. We're not expecting you to walk away, but acknowledge and don't disregard what I'm feeling. Like, I'm not tripping. Like, I care about you in a different way, but she cares about you too. It's just like when I tell you I'm feeling disrespected, acknowledge it. I hate being disregarded about it or being all like, nah, just leave it. Just leaving it and ignoring it never works, especially when you know you're gonna marry this man and you're marrying into that family. Like, acknowledge how I feel about it. Like, so many times it's disregarded.
I know. I think that comes. Well, I think there's so many factors that play into it. But I mean, we're talking about family. We're talking about culture. Depending on how you grew up, you guys are the way we grow up is like family over everything. That's the mentality, the entire culture. So I can understand. I'm not saying I can understand why a lot of guys do that, because like you only have one sister, or multiple, one mom, one. But you can always get. I mean, that's just the way I was taught. You only have one mom. You only one dad. You only have this sister. So like, that's the only you. That's the only. But you can always get another girl. That's what I was taught. So like, what I'm saying. So always pick your family before your girlfriend. But for me, if my family disrespects I understand jokes, all right, because we all joke around.
Yeah, that's different.
That's different. Fakata. But if you openly disrespect her, like, that's not gonna fly well.
It'd be like sneak disses too. Like,
yeah,
no.
Even if I do bring him, I tell my family time, like, I tell my sister, out of time, like, hey, like this is somebody I really care about. So
Right.
and I still like my sister's husbands, you know, I make fun of them too, but I never disrespect their husbands, you know.
Right.
So I show them that same energy. So I tell them all the time. So if I'm gonna bring my girlfriend, potential wife to my family, like, nah, like we can have fun, but when I feel like, and also when I know when they overstep, like that's not cool. It's
Yeah. And
it's
it
not-
never ends.
yeah, it never ends. And then I don't want to be in the position where I have to pick between my family, because I love my family, I love her too. I don't want to be in that position. So so for me, it's like if I'm in that position, like the way I see it, my family will always be there. Whatever, my family forgive me, but to find that one person that's gonna love you and commit to you and be loyal to you, like that doesn't come often.
Right.
So like,
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
if I find that one girl that really loves me, appreciates me, takes care of me, is loyal to me, like I don't care about my family. They can disown me, but I know they're always gonna be there for me. But
Right.
it's really, really hard to go find somebody like that. So I'm not gonna let her be disrespected in front of everybody.
Right. And that's how it should be, because
Yeah.
so often I see the total opposite. And that's crazy as fuck to me, because what you were talking about, like that's how a lot of poly boys are raised, family first, or even not even poly boys, like poly women too.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone is just like family first, but it's like you don't have to. If I'm bringing somebody else in, like implying that I want them to be part of the family, that respect should naturally be there. Like I don't understand why it always has to be like, why it always has to come down to a choice. Yeah, family first, but do you have to keep testing it? You know, like why do you keep testing it? The insecurity level has to go beyond that. Like I don't know what it is.
Well, that's the thing. They're just insecure. A lot of tongue girls.
Yeah.
A lot of them are insecure.
Yeah, and it's always about, oh, you remember who comes first, who comes first. Like, what the fuck do you gain out of saying that? Do you want a high five? What do you mean? Like, and there's so many girls that, and I know tongue girls around me, even myself at one point, like it was just always the sister talking about, or like, and you know what? It's never usually the sisters. Sometimes it's the cousins that be overstepping the sisters, talking about, oh yeah, that's my brother. I'm like, go ahead, huh? Like, what? It doesn't make no sense.
No, I don't want to sound mean, but it's always the women in the family that got nothing going on with their life. They're either divorced, multiple baby daddies. The relationships are broken.
Oh my god, that's what I'm saying. Like it's always the ice cream cone girl with a cigarette in her hand outside.
It's always the black sheep of the family. Like
Right.
their life is over. The bottom of the heap in the family. Like, and I'm saying that. They're just so toxic and they're so negative that they don't want to see anybody else have something good. And if this girl comes in and she's a very good girl, she's loving, they're just hella jealous. They're so much jealousy.
Right. That's annoying too. And that's why the joke always comes up like, damn, bro, like you want to date him? Because that's an accurate thing. Like, why are you overstepping this much? You know, and it's just crazy, like to have to keep stamping that. I was always wondering, like, does it ever run across your head to be like, yo, cut that shit out? You know?
No, well, I would say it's just dependent on the guys, because I know guys. I got Tongan friends that will never say anything to their family, will never say anything to their sister, especially their older sister.
Right.
So, but no, for me, that's not cool, because it's hard to find a good woman. So if I find a good woman, I'm gonna pick her.
Right.
I'm gonna pick her.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah. So, anybody want to add to that? CeeLo?
Did Sia leave?
No, I think she's still there. Wait, let me see.
I
gotta add her back in. Oh. Yo.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. You in East Oakland, Sia?
Yeah.
Oh, I already know what time it is. I already know what time. All right. So okay. So Sia. So Lena, that was her question. So Sia,
Yes.
it's your time. It's your question. What question do you have for us?
So I think my main question is why for Polynesian men, well, not only for Polynesian men, but it's like for every man, Why is it the first thing that pops in their head when they're trying to get at a girl is to talk about sex?
Oh, okay. You know, okay, you want my answer to that?
Yeah.
Okay, so if there's a guy that's the first thing he's talking about sex, you gotta know the difference between a boy and a man. So if a boy was nothing, he doesn't know, he hasn't matured, he doesn't have the maturity, and he doesn't have a plan, he doesn't have a purpose, he has a goal for his life. If he has nothing going on for his life, the only thing he cares about is sex. If you're dealing with a man with the purpose, with the plan, he knows what he wants. That's not something that that's not something that's a priority for us when it comes to relationships. We know that sex is gonna come if we with the woman we want. So that's what I would say to that question. Yeah, if the type of men or type of guys you're looking, if guys are only, that's the only thing they want from you is sex, either they're the wrong guy for you, they have the wrong intentions for you, but you're dealing with boys. You're dealing with boys because like I said, if a guy knows what he wants and when he has a future, he's building something, he wants more out of his woman beyond sex, if that makes sense. For me, like, I'm trying to do something in my life. So I already know sex is gonna come, but sex is not even something that I think about when it comes to the woman that I want. I want a woman that comes on that can help me on my purpose, on my goals, and my dreams. We can build this life together. We can build this family together. And that's one thing. I'm looking for what value can she bring to me, and also what can I bring to her. Like, sex is already given, because I know when we really love each other, like we're gonna have that. We're gonna be intimate and have kids one day. But if guys haven't got to that level, that mindset, then either they're just fucking around, they're immature and they have nothing going on with their life. But you will never meet a guy that really doing something with his life and all he worries about is sex. That's like, if guys got something going on with his life, we don't worry about sex. We want, okay, what else can she come in? How can she come into my life and help me? And also, how can I come into her life and I can help her and we can build something together? That's something that men think about. But little fuck boys and and boys out there, they just want to have sex. That's the way I see it. You're talking to little boys. And I say that with respect. I'm not saying that I'm better than them. It's just, I know that it's all about priority. Like, if guys got something going on with their life, they're looking for a woman that comes in and they can do something together with it. But like, for me, when I meet a woman, like, I don't worry about the sex, because I know that's gonna come already. I'm looking for, like, is she loyal? Is she kind? Is she nurturing? Can we communicate? Can we talk things out? Can we be able to discuss things? Are we able to challenge each other? Are we compatible? Can we agree to disagree? How does she respond to it? Does she respond to the way if something bad happens, if I make a mistake, how does she respond? Although that's what I'm looking for. I'm not even thinking about sex, because like we just mentioned in the first question in the podcast, sex is not going to keep a man or a woman. We talked about that's the first thing. Like, sex is not going to keep me. Sex is not going to keep her. So like, that's not. I don't worry about that. But I feel, but I do know that it takes a certain type of mindset to understand that. I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, give it 100. That's all I thought about. I'm gonna keep it 100. That's all I thought about was sex. Like, that's all I cared about. I didn't even think about the future. I didn't even think about what she had, or all I wanted was like what I wanted at that moment, that temporary pleasure. But as I got older, I realized, oh shoot, like, sex is not gonna build my future. Sex is not gonna build my legacy. It's not gonna take care of my family. That's not what I'm focusing my energy on the wrong things. So when I go and date people, like, I don't worry about that. That's gonna come. But I've just noticed that people that all think about sex, then I just noticed that there's either a level of maturity or there's something going on deep. There's a deeper issue going on, and that's why they all either they need validation, either they need that love from somebody they didn't get growing up as a kid, whatever it is. If somebody all they care about sex, then there's a deeper issue within that person. If all they care about sex, because a lot of the people I've met that all they worry about sex is because something traumatic happened in their past, that all they're worried about is sex beyond anything else. But that's my question. That's my answer to that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. When it comes to like the whole deeper meaning behind like somebody who's constantly like really craving for it, and that's like their number one priority or first bit of conversation. I agree that I have a friend, well, usually it's because like the women in his life were absent like growing up, and that became like the one thing he knew he can always get, you know. So
Yeah.
I might be thinking a little too deep into it than I thought, but I always figured that there was really no example of a woman around for him to know, you know, what to look for in a woman or something to hold on to be like, okay, I'm a young boy, I'm horny all the time, but you know, I'm going to grow out with it. This dude is going on for years and years. That's when I was like, okay, I definitely agree. It was a deeper meaning because he never, the first women in his life failed him.
Yeah.
So I agree with
every guy and girl I ever met with that all they cared about was sex. Every single one of them in my life had some traumatic issues in their past, and that's why they all had every single one, whether it's a girl or a guy. You know, like and mostly a lot of the girls I met, all they care about sex. I realized later on in their childhood or something happened to them, and that's what they knew. Either they didn't have a dad, and they had that father figure. They had this lack of attention or affection growing up as a child. Whatever it is, somebody touched them, whatever, you know, some sexual something going on with their past, and that's why they because it's not even about the sex. It's just the craving that attachment.
Right.
It's not about the action itself. It's just they just need that attachment. That's one thing I've noticed. So it was cool when I was young.
It's played out now.
It was young, but now it's like that's not something I prioritize, because like right now, like I'm thinking about the future of what I'm trying to do. So that's what I'm looking for. But I do notice either there's a pain, either there's something happened to him, a deeper issue, or just immaturity. Because
Can I add to that?
go ahead.
It's either that or sometimes guys just like to be followers. So they like see older guys doing it, so they think it's cool to do it, you know?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like when I hear a guy do that, I think of like, how would you feel if somebody did that to your sister? How would you feel if somebody did that to your daughter? You wouldn't appreciate it. So why would you do it to other females?
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that. That's the lack of immaturity, right? So we're just so immature that we just do it. We just follow the crowd, and we haven't developed our own sense of what we should do, what that's right. And yeah, like you're totally right with that. Like if that's why you see growing up as a child and all your friends are doing it, and that's the culture today. And also, like it's 2021, everything is about sex. So nothing like nobody cares about relationships no more. People go into relationships for the purpose of having sex. People don't go into relationships no more for the purpose of long-term commitment or marriage. So growing up as a child, growing up with all my uncles, like that's all they talked about. Yeah, have sex. Like Kava is all we talked about. You know, have sex and all the like don't yes.
Cut it out.
And that's, I mean, and that's, but then I just, you know, as I grew older, I realized, oh, like, nah, that's not what I should put in my energy into, because I'm not building anything. Having sex, like, I'm not doing anything with my life with that. That doesn't do anything to better me. So I had to go through that period and realizing that for myself. But you're absolutely right. There's the culture aspect, based on your environment, what you see. But eventually, like, I don't care. Like both women, you guys can know that. Eventually, I don't care how much sex you have. Eventually, there'll be a point when you realize it's not. That doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't build anything. Having like, you know, the sex is nice, but what's good, what's great is like the intimacy you have with somebody, the connection you have with somebody, be able to talk to somebody, be able to communicate, share our deepest fears and flaws and insecurities with somebody, and they can tell us, hey, it's okay. You know, having that vulnerability with something, that's what brings people together, and that's what keeps people together. It's not the sex. It's nice. I mean, the sex is it's just for having kids. That's a beautiful thing. But to be loyal to somebody, it's beyond that sex, you know.
Right.
So, but you don't understand that if nobody ever taught that. And of course, we're all Pacific Islanders on this podcast, so we never had those conversations of sex growing up. So we had to learn on our own. So we had to go figure it out on our own. But for me, when I have kids one day, I'm gonna discuss that with them. Hey, like this is what sex is, but this is the purpose of having sex. This is why you have sex with somebody, because sex is something that should be, for me personally, it's something sacred that you should share with somebody long term, somebody special. It's a special gift that we can have, but that's just me. That's just the way I see it. So, but yeah, if that answers. Anybody any thoughts to that, Sila? Any thoughts to that? What she asked? What Sia asked? Why do guys? Why do you think guys just care about sex?
Yeah, I also think, because I also have a lot of guys who just hit me up for sex, but I also think that it's just because also like in like the older age groups, like not like in high school and stuff like that. I also think it's just because like they don't have like that respect for you, because I don't think that they're necessarily stupid that they don't know like, oh, this is how you talk to a woman and stuff like that. But I noticed the guys that hit me up for that is because they don't respect me like as a woman and stuff like that. Because like you see a guy hit you up for sex, but then you see him not treat another girl like that. And so I think also when guys hit you up first and they hit you up and then all you're talking about is sex, I think that that is most likely the initial reason that they even hit you up in the first place. Because if he wanted to just talk to you about things that actually matter, then he would, but he's not. Yeah. So it's that I think that's when guys hit you up and you guys are talking about sex all the time, that's the reason why they hit you up. Because if they wanted to not do that, then they wouldn't. Yeah, but at least that's what I noticed for myself.
I just noticed within our culture, because we never talk about it, but there's no guidance to the young men of how to be men, if that makes sense. So I didn't learn how to be a man. I had to learn it on my own, just like failure, just life falling apart, shit just not happening for me, and then I really had to man up in myself to rebuild myself as a man to grow. But I wish I had that growing up from the uncles, from how I grew up. But a lot of young Polynesian guys, we learn how to be men through social media and through just watching the other men in our lives. But the men in our lives may not be the most positive role models that we should look up to. So there's not really people out there teaching young boys how to be a real man. And then that's just something that we have to grow out of. And then for a lot of guys, it might take a couple of years. Some guys take their whole life. Some guys never grow out of it. Shit. some guys are the same the whole life. Shoot, I got uncles and grandpas too living that lifestyle.
Oh fuck no.
I got uncles like just still thinking that way. Hey, and trying to get the next girl. Like I'm like, damn, uncle, holy shit. Like 50, 60.
Right. Especially the way they be talking on like the doa, like Kava, it's like the older they get.
Yeah, these are old dudes.
These
are old men trying to holler at that doa.
Was 14. That should be gross. I'm like,
bro, if you go to Kava, like these are OGs, like my grandpa's age, and they're all trying to like smash the door. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'll never be a doa ever because of that.
All right, you used to get doa before?
I've been asked a couple times because, like, so I live in Utah. Every freaking Tongan guy out there, they Kawa. And I've been asked before, like, my friends have been the to'a before, but I've been asked a lot to be the to'a, and like, it's.
Don't take this the wrong way, but you got like a good to'a face. Don't take this wrong.
That is, she gonna take it the wrong way.
I wish a motherfucker would at my ass. No.
But wait, why do you say that? What's the criteria for a to'a since she has such a good to'a face? What's the criteria?
So you have that like that flirtatious, promiscuous face. I'm saying that with absolute respect. Like you have that face, like that makes it fun. Oh, that's a fun girl. That's
and I am, but it's like I'm not about to be a to'a.
You have that face. If I walk in, that girl's fun right there. All right. You have that. I'm just saying you have that face. But some girls like have that. They have like a terrible like resting. What's that word? Resting
bitch face.
Yeah. I don't want to. It's not even opening welcome. Like I don't want to be with that. But,
that's me. Yeah.
But you have that opening. The conversation vibe face that we can talk. And I can talk to you, and Yeah, man.
Well, why not just? I don't know why they won't just ask me to come drink kava with them. Like, I'll drink some kava, but these motherfuckers come be the toa. Hell no.
Oh, charge them, make some.
They
bread.
be putting the dustiest nigga right next to them. I'm like, you want this
Exactly. I'm like,
yo, they be paying. I'm not gonna lie, they be paying these Kava clubs. They be.
Right.
that's the only reason I would be, because of money. But
That's what I'm saying. Take that free bread.
Get your
them
bag.
Yankee workers be spending
Independent girl, get that bag, girl.
from a man. No, like that.
Oh, you telling me you wouldn't take like what 2 bands to flirt with somebody, uncle?
Oh no, I would.
There we go.
Wait, have you guys?
It depends on how much money though. Like if a motherfucker only about to throw a fucking $20 at, not throw. I'm not talking about that. But like, if a motherfucker's only gonna give me $20 and I'm gonna be the thrower, I won't do it. I don't. But like, no disrespect to the girls who do it. I think it's cool. Just for me personally, I couldn't do it.
Right.
But yeah,
Okay.
no.
Have you guys ever done it before? No one.
Nah.
I have.
Oh.
What was your
was that?
experience like?
Well, it was okay. It was like it was like how you guys said, like the guys are very flirtatious, but you see with me, like I just went and got high and I sat there quiet. I literally just sat there hella quiet, high as fuck.
Right. You
That's
said
fine,
fuck it.
Because I'm not gonna flirt with these guys. Like, no. Like,
Wait, was
no.
it like the collab with like the younger guys or like
Yeah, it was like with the younger guys mixed with the older guys, but it was mostly younger guys. Most of them were either finna get married or already married. So yeah, that was I was that's why I went smoke, because I know that I smoked, I just sit there quiet as fuck.
You had to smoke to forget you was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
To go to a better place.
See, that's why I can't do Kava clubs, because like I'm not the type of dude, like if I see my somebody married and doing something, like I can't be around it. I don't like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That
So if I'm seeing like if it's my friend or something, if I know like they're married and they're doing something like they're doing something unfaithful to their wives, like I'm not down with that thing. So that's why I keep away.
Would you say something to your friend?
Huh? If it's my friend, I would say something.
Would you call his wife?
I wouldn't call his wife, but that's something he needs to handle. But I would tell him, I would say something, and then I think I wouldn't just be around him anyway.
Wow, you're a rare breed. Well,
nah, it's not, for me, it's not cool. Well,
yeah, that's very rare.
Yeah, it's just it's not the type of people I want to be around. Because for some people it is, but nah, it's just not cool.
Aspire.
Yeah.
Period.
But yeah, so anybody? Okay, so that was. Anybody want to add on to what Sia's question about guys having asking for sex?
We're covered.
Oh, I do want to ask you, like, when guys today, like, how fast do they ask for sex? Is it the first day, or is it the second day, or is it the first week when you meet guys?
These motherfuckers are getting smart. Like, I've noticed that. Like, they won't bring it up right away because they know that they'll be dubbed right fucking there. Like, you bring up sex, like it's done, like it's dead. But these motherfuckers are starting to evolve. Like, they'll try and really start a conversation with you, like, for real, really try. And then, you're like, oh, maybe this guy isn't a fucking asshole. The next thing you know, we're talking, he brings up sex. So lately for me, it's been like they'll wait like a couple days and then but some guys are still bold though. They'll just straight up be.
Oh, I want to ask you this question. So how, what are you guys' rule of standard, like, or when you guys give it up? Is it, do you guys wait a certain time period? Like, how do you guys know, okay, this is time for me to give it to this guy? Like, what's your rule? What's your standard? I'm just interested to hear that from women. How do you know when it's time to give him sex? And would you guys do it on the first date? No, that's never gonna happen, depending on the guy. That's my question.
I don't really have a rule about it. Like, if this is raw and uncut, I've never really had a rule about it. Like, the fact of the matter is that I trust my instincts and my vibes. I'm not some dumb bitch where it's be like, oh my God, is that a button up? panties are off. Like I was never like that. Like I was always the type to like really think thoroughly. Like, if I feel the vibe, like, and I'm genuine about it, like I said, like I have good men around me, I can tell most of the time. That don't mean like I've been able to tell all the time, but I go off of vibes. It's not like I'm on like a third date rule or anything like that. That shit's just kind of weird to me. I feel like those rules are what keep a lot of women back. You know, just that's so weird to me. Oh, I'm not having sex on a third date or this and that. I mean, for some people it works, but it's just like most people just say it because they think that's what a lady would do. But it's like the standards that they're trying to put for a lady, it doesn't really work. Like I do agree in holding back. If this is what you're about and you want to hold back, perfect. If that works for you, great. It's just not me. Like it's all vibes for me.
Okay, so you just vibes. What about you, Sila? How do you go about it? How do you know, okay, this is my time to give it up?
Honestly, I'm very like, and I think I've said this before to you, Will, but I'm very like sex positive. Like if I want to have sex that day and that person wants to have sex too, like if it's there and like cause like I've even like met up with somebody to like have sex before, but then like when I got there, like it just wasn't like the feeling that like, you know, like what she said, like just trusting my instincts and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't feel it and I won't have sex. Sometimes I'll feel it. Sometimes I'll feel it on the first day. Sometimes I won't feel it on the first day. Like it really just depends. But it doesn't really, like, I don't really have a rule either. Like if I met that person that day and I feel like having sex with that person, then I'll have sex with them. If I want to wait to see where things go before sex, then I'll wait. But it's like, it's usually like I'll sleep with the guy on the first date if I don't really like, but like I'll never like think this is gonna go anywhere after this, if that makes sense. But if I feel like I might want something to go somewhere with this person, then I'll wait like a little bit. But it's really just depends on if I want to fuck that day or if I don't want to fuck that day. It's just so.
No, that makes sense. Like it just depends on how you feel. Whether if you sexually need some sex or you look into a future with somebody. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, all right. But if it's a personal need or if it's a relationship need,
yeah,
whatever works for you. All right, you make a good dua. All right.
Oh no.
Oh my god, it's the flirtatious face.
I'm telling you.
Hey, if you guys have some clubs, need some duas, man. Right here.
I'm waiting.
Sophia, same question. How do you? What's your take on how do you know when you're able to like, okay, I can finally give it up and have sex with a guy. What's the way you go about it?
So it's just like how Sila said, yeah, but with me it's like it has to be a vibe. Like if I feel like the vibe is okay, then yeah, I'll give it up. But if I feel like the guy is just like total bullshitting or something, or like doesn't have that vibe where I can just, you know, fuck him, yeah, then no.
Yeah,
it's a no.
Okay. All right. So
it's hard to explain like how it feels though. Like I don't know if you can explain that the like it like the vibe and stuff, because like you could like really like be thinking like before you even get there, like, oh yeah, like this about to be fucking lit. But when you get around that person and you're like, just kidding, you know.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Have you ever? I'm about to go deep. I want to go deep in this question, but did you ever have sex with a guy and then realize you got played? Like, damn, this motherfucker played me, bullshitted me. Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But usually I'd be on the same shit. Like no, like not. I don't really get played like that because if it's about sex, it's just about sex. Like I don't really look deeper into it. Like, oh my gosh, like maybe we'll date after this. Like, yeah. But I have been like a guy was like, oh, because I was like I needed a ride somewhere, and I was thinking, like, hey, maybe he's actually a nice guy. And then 5 days later, and I realized maybe he's not that nice of a guy. He's just a horny motherfucker. But that's not a sexual assault story, by the way. It's just but yeah.
So when you say vibe, it doesn't mean like he has game, or is it like he's kind? Is he treat you like he has manners? Like what's the specific thing that puts you in the mood that okay, I'm going to give up to this guy? Is it so? I'm just trying to figure that out. Is it the game? Is it just treating you like a respect or being a gentleman? Or is it a combination of both? I'm just trying to figure that out.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead, Lena.
Yeah, so I don't know if this applies to most girls, but like if it ever came down to it, I think it's attractive to me when a guy never brings it up. When he never brings it up, like and at that point I'll initiate. But I'm saying like it's always fun being the initiator. Like if a guy never brings it up, he's talking, he's like mature, he has that like that strong voice, you know, and he talks about everything but it. Like that's why, because most girls come into it talking about, oh great, it's gonna come up. Like the girl said, like it's so often that guys bring it up. So when they don't, it's kind of like, why? You know, like I'm glad that you're not, but it's like, damn, I'm not that. Oh, like, all right. So then that's like, it's kind of fun to initiate, is it not? Come on now, it's kind of fun to initiate. Like the nigga the one he was like, all right, no, fuck it.
All right. So
I agree.
So since we're talking about initiating, so when you initiate, what do you do? Like, do you give him like a sign, or you know, like what do you do to let him know, hey, initiation has taken place, attack?
Well, I really be like, so what's up? Like that's really what I'd be like. So what's up?
Oh, so you usually just say, hey, so what's up? That's what you do?
Yeah, because like that's like what she said. Like it really
So what's
like
up?
it like really
What's
like,
up?
gets me going when I'm the one that brings it up. Like if he brings it up first, then I'm like, but then like I like to be the one that like, oh, I started. So yeah, that's how. Yeah.
So you just say, so what's up, and then the magic happens. Is that really how it plays out?
It's usually like some like stupid like small talk. I'd be like, so what's up? And they'd be like, what you mean? I'm like, you know why we came here? And then
You know what it means.
You know what it means.
That's funny. I don't know. Usually it just be like subtle clues, like getting close or something like that.
Yeah.
So what do you do, Lena? What's your initiation tactic? Like,
Show us.
How do you let it? Show us.
Show us. I want to see.
No. No.
Yeah, show us.
I mean, okay.
We're trying to learn here.
We're objectively speaking, right? Will, you're not coming first person. You expecting us to
No,
answer first?
we were just talking about this. It was like,
Okay, so
it makes good
objectively, I'm
conversation.
saying, like, I don't know. I feel like it'd be like subtle clues, like where you just suddenly get a little closer, or it's like, you know, when girls get mad and they face their legs towards the other door, but then this time your legs are facing that way.
Is the leg like this? Or
No, like, but it's just like stuff like that, and then like your voice gets a little raspy, and you start like, you know, because I got a mouthpiece. I ain't gonna lie. So you feel me? When they get down to it, it's gonna come down. So
can you show us an example real quick to show how do you turn your legs?
This guy.
I'm just giving the people they're tuning in. They want to know. They want to.
I'm just saying. I mean, okay, listen, it's raw and uncut.
Okay,
that's what girls usually do. Like girls be like, though, at that point when they already have it in their mind that you're gonna give it up, you start to get a little more handsy. Like you find anything that'll like get you closer to him or like get you to touch him. Or even like some girls, like some Kodaks. I see a lot of bunch of like Mexican girls, maybe not even Mexican girls, or like regular girls do it. But you're like, ew, why you look like that? And like just slap his face. Like, damn, that works for people. Or you can just say, so what's up? I heard that works as well.
But for you, you turn.
She goes like this.
How do you?
Just position the other way.
She thought like this, and she go like this.
Man, I hate it here.
No, but I'm laughing because like I didn't even notice that I do that.
But you get what I mean? That's how it works.
No.
Like, females will get so slick about it, like you don't even know. But at that point, because I know at that point, like guys are just looking for the green light finally, like because then you start to give into yourself. Because then at that point you're starting to give in, you know, and you're just like you give those little clues, like anything that has to touch, or like yeah. And then at one point your hands are just on each other too long, then you know, whatever.
Okay. No, because I'm sure you guys notice guys when it comes to signaling, we're the worst. Like we can't read shit if you don't know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
you know. Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to teach you. So for you, turn and what was that thing you said? You I'm just trying to. Okay, all right, we'll come back.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like for me, it was just like I'll automatically just start in this.
So guys, so if she turns like this and then what's up?
But you also really know if you see the girl start to put her hair up, you fucking know it's about to go down.
All right.
That's also thing. No, I'll be in the car like, and then it's on and popping.
That's crazy.
Do one more time.
So basically, you look away from them. You're gonna want to not make eye contact. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, all right. So guys, all right. So Sia, so yeah, how do you initiate? What's your method? What's your tactic?
My tactic?
Yeah, to let him know that the wata is up.
It's funny they bring it up because that's exactly the guy's tactic. Is like,
that's crazy.
like I'll just sit there and then the guy is sitting there and be quiet as fuck, and then they be like, "So what's up?" And I'll be like, "So what's up?" Like, like,
what did you do?
And then they be like, "So what you trying to do? Like, what you mean? What I'm trying to do? Like, the fuck?"
You know,
like, you should know. Like, but it'd be so weird because it's always me making the first move. Like when I feel the vibe, like I make the first move. There's sometimes I expect niggas to make the first move, but they don't have the balls to. So
yeah,
they be real bold on the phone, and then you get
hella bold on the phone. But then when you meet them in person, it's different. It's totally different.
Right. They're
girls do the same thing too, right? Like you guys will like be freaky on the phone, and then when we
but girls can back it up.
But then you turn the other side.
Girls can back it up.
Oh, okay, all right. So, do you prefer for him to initiate it, or do you prefer for you to initiate it and then he has to read the signal and the subtle clues and then make the make the move?
Well, I prefer him to initiate, but you see, if you don't got the balls, then I'll initiate.
Okay, but see, that's what coming from a guy. That's the hardest thing is for us. Okay, because I don't want to initiate it if you're not in the mood. So I don't want to initiate it if you're not in the mood. It just gonna make things awkward, and then probably my probability of meeting on the second day is probably is over. So I think that's for a lot of guys. Okay, should initiate the move or no? Hey, but for all you guys, so are you guys all saying that you guys are down to do? If you guys feeling the guy, you guys are down to do this on the first date?
I would have had to have taken a period of time to get to know him, to know that this is somebody I want to open up for. If like we have been talking for months on end, this is our first meet and stuff, like, because I feel like a lot of girls would say no, thinking that the first day is like where you know somebody, where you're starting to know somebody, but that's not always the case. If I was talking to him 6 months ahead of time and it's like our first time being out and the vibes are right, like I want to say yes. I would.
Okay.
But most of the time, that's not really the case.
Okay. And then for you, Sila, first date, if you're feeling him, he's going, the what's up is going to happen.
Yeah, but it's like, not saying that that's like something that happens a lot. Like that's something very rare for me to actually meet somebody and me be on the same shit as them. Like we both want to do it. But yeah, like if it's on the first date, I would. I have. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing for like I think for a lot of guys, we don't know if it's when it's too soon or when it, because for us in our mind, like we should never initiate it on the first date because a lot of us, they believe that a lot of girls won't may be unattractive, maybe that may be a deal breaker if we try to initiate it on the first date. So,
do guys lose any attraction to a woman if she does give it up on the first date? Like, does that be all like, oh, okay, so you're a hoe?
Oh no. We don't care. We don't. Okay, so the thing is, that's why we talked about it before on the podcast where sex doesn't keep a guy. So if a guy likes you and he wants to be with you, I don't care if I get it. If I like you and want to be with you, I don't care if I get it the first day, or if I get it the first week or the first month. If I really want to be with you, so it doesn't matter to us whether. I don't see you any different if I really like you and want to be with you. I don't see you different whether you give it up. I'm just gonna take it. Hey, I'm not gonna complain. Hey, let's go. What's up? What's up, baby? What's up? But I think that's more of you guys. I think you guys care more about giving it up because I think a lot of women would judge each other, criticize each other if you guys give it up too early to men.
Right.
That's more of a woman thing. But I mean, when we have sex, whether it's the first night, doesn't matter. Like if I really like you, I don't really care. I don't really care because even if you don't give it up even if you don't give it up on the first night to the wrong guy, he's still gonna leave you.
Right.
If the guy has the wrong intentions for you, when you wait a month and give it to him a month later, he's gonna smash it and move on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like I would have had to like already gotten to know you as a person.
Yeah.
Our first date after months talking. Yeah, I don't mind. Like at that point, I'm already sure in my head that I want to take this further than just that.
No, because I do see a lot of girls. They have that belief, right? Okay, if I hold on and if the guy's willing to wait, and that means he's a good guy. I'm like, no.
That's tough.
That like the guy. If the guy doesn't want to be with you, like he's gonna be wait long enough till he gets what he needs. And girls, I know girls do the same thing too. And once they get it, they move on. So like, how early or how late you give up sex has no indicator of commitment from a guy.
Right.
It's like you said, it's important to get to know him, feel out his vibes, communication, know his intentions, know who he is, his character, the way he carries himself. But yeah, that's something I do see with a lot of girls. Okay, if he's willing to last long and hold off, then he must be the guy for me. And they don't understand. Like Sheila said, these guys have evolved. They evolved their game.
Who gave y'all brains all of a sudden?
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, since when?
Right. Hey, I when.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the first night. It's just the most important thing is just making sure you're with the right person. That's all it is.
Right.
Make sure you're with the right person before you either have sex or you want to have them have access to your relationship with you.
Right.
All right. Cool. So yeah. So that's that was Sia's question. So we're gonna go back to you. It's up to me. So it's me now. So I want to ask you guys this question. Let me find a very spicy question for you guys. Okay, so this is my question for you guys. Have you guys ever broke your standards for a certain man? That's my question. So have you guys ever, I know you guys all have your standards, you guys have your things you look for, but have you ever broken your standards or your rules for a certain type of guy that you really, really liked, and then you finally got him and then you were willing to break it for him, but you weren't willing to break it for any other guy?
Yes.
Okay. So Lena said yes. So you broke your standards and rules for a certain guy?
Yeah, I did.
So what kind of traits did this guy had that you felt like that you broke your standards for him? So what made him different from the other guys?
Okay, so it's probably one of the dumbest reasons of all, but I know, but I'm not, I was subjected to that. I can't really point out anything that would stand out more than that he has or had.
Was he good looking? Was he tall? Was he?
Oh, he was fine as shit. No, the boy was fine.
There you go.
He was fine as hell.
Oh, there you go.
That might be one of them. No, but yeah, he was hella fine. And he was like, he had something good going for him. He was a good guy and stuff. But then I think I overvalued that and kind of put him on a pedestal to the point where I was no longer looking at clues to see whether he was still here or he was returning the same energy. Like even all the way down, like when girls be like, girls notice, okay, I know how my man's voice sound like. And one day Like his voice was just different. And I don't know why, whether it's because we hadn't talked in so long, but then I started to I was like, what the hell is going on with him? And then I found out that he cheated on me, you know?
Gotcha.
And I stayed.
Yeah.
I stayed after that. But
okay.
It was for the sake of history. We had already gone through so much together. He met my family, I met his, and we were going back and forth for a minute, you know? So then when that happened, I was so used to him. I didn't want to be with nobody. I didn't want to start over. I'm not gonna lie. It was probably just my lazy ass mindset where I didn't want to start over with another guy. But then it was so toxic to the point where I felt like I was manipulated into needing him, you know, or feeling like I needed him. So I lost track of that for a cool minute. Because I do believe I wouldn't want to stay with somebody that ever cheated on me, you know, because that's not love ever, you know, or you can fix it after that. I wholeheartedly believe it. And I see that many couples have done so, but that was my initial belief, you know, if he cheated on you, then all the time before that is disregarded, you know, it don't count because he never loved you and stuff, but I stayed. So that was my situation.
Okay. So he was hella fine and you just
Fine
go
as
with
shit.
that. Fine as shit.
Fine as shit.
God damn.
Can we see him? I'm kidding.
Oh, I got you. I'm gonna send you the file.
I was trying to see if I had a sound for that. Okay, no sound. All right. All right, cool. Okay, so so that was Lena's story. So Sila, did you ever break your standards and rules for a certain type of guy? And if you did, what kind of guy was it? I said, what was different about him from all the other guys that you met?
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing. So when I was with my ex, we had been together for 3 years, I think. Mm-hmm. Almost 3 years, right when I got out of high school. But also I'm about to expose myself on here. So while my ex and I were together, no, but while my ex and I were together, I had a baby on him. So I cheated and I had a baby with somebody else while my ex and I were together. And he still stayed, and he actually moved states to help me raise my son because my baby father was not with it at that time. And so he had moved down to help me raise my son, and also just because he wanted to stay together, which I also think he broke his standard just because the sake of history. He did the same thing, but and so when he moved down, we had had a discussion about how because we had been, it was a really toxic relationship. In the beginning, we were both cheating on each other the whole time. And so we had a discussion about how moving forward, we were going to be no more, now that we're moving in together for real and stuff like that. And so he actually ended up cheating on me 3 months after he had moved out. Well, he was cheating on me the whole time. I didn't find out till 3 months. But but then when I found out, it's I did it. I still stayed. But just because I felt like he gave up a lot to stay with me after I cheated. And so I felt because he did that big thing for me, I want to do the same, I'm going to do the same thing too, because if he's going to stay with me after I cheated and had a whole ass baby on this man, then I don't know. I kind of downplayed the situation just because well, if we're even now, I guess. And then as time went on, I found out again that he had cheated on me, that motherfucker. But he, at that point, he had already helped me raise my son, and he loved my son as his own son. And so I just felt well, nobody else is gonna love my son like this. Nobody else would be down to raise my kid like this. And I felt because of the whole dynamic we had going that I had to stay. And so I stayed I stayed again. And so yeah, those are the two kind of things, just maybe it's that I broke my standard because I felt well, because I did it, it's not wrong. And also because he helped me, because my son was involved now too. I felt I had to stay.
All right. That makes sense. Obviously you had a son with him, and you had history with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Was he fine as hell?
He. Hey, this motherfucker probably watching this. Yes, he was part of that. Okay. Yeah, I think yes. Oh yeah.
Oh, all right.
But that's not why I stayed.
I see a pattern. I see a pattern here. Okay. All right. All right. Last but not least, Sia. Same question. Have you ever broke your rules, your standards for a certain guy? And if you did, what kind of guy was it? What was different about him compared to all the other guys?
Well, I did because I started talking to this guy when I was like 19, and it was like on and off for like a couple of years. So like the first time, like completely ghosted me, and that should have been a sign for me not to talk to him. But then it's like every time he popped into my life, it's like I've always taken him back, but then he's always done me wrong. So
you know why? You know why you keep taking him back?
Why? Oh, you asking me why?
Yeah. Why? Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh wait, why? I feel like the only reason why I kept taking him back because it's like every time we reconnected, it was always a good conversation. It was like we always had a good vibe, like we always related to each other. So then it was like that's the main reason why I always kept taking him back. But the last time that I took him back, it was like right after I split with my baby's father. But then this time it just messed me up even more because like I actually like caught this guy cheating. Like I drove 5 hours to LA, and I don't even drive that far for nobody. And it was my first time driving that far, and I drove 5 hours for his grandma's funeral just to be there for him. And like literally, like at his grandma's funeral, I'm sitting in the back, and he hands me his phone. And for some reason, I always have this instinct that a guy is cheating on me. So I decided to snoop through his phone. Found out that while I'm on my way to LA, he's over here talking to other females, like getting their Snapchats and stuff. And then like I didn't want to bring it up at his grandma's funeral because it wasn't the right time to bring it up. He's about to bury his grandma. But so then after the whole funeral, like then that's when I bring it up to him, and then like he just started apologizing and stuff. And then I came back home, and then come to find out I was pregnant by him. But then like it didn't even change nothing on how he thought about our relationship, because at the end of the day he was still talking to other females. And then that's also, it was like it put a lot of stress and toll on me that I ended up having a miscarriage. So then but that there was my final straw. Like I can't take a man back when I did that, like he wasn't even there for me like when I was going through it, so
Okay.
yeah.
And was he fine as hell too or not?
He was shorter than me, which is unattractive.
Oh,
Cancel.
Hey, how tall are you?
I'm 5'6". He was like 5'4".
Damn, boy.
Oh, he fell short.
That's Kevin Hart. That's Kevin Hart right there.
not the shorty.
Yeah, little
That
short
should
dude
have been
freaking
your
Hart.
first time.
Must have been hacking, because ain't no way.
Yeah, girl, was it good?
We talking about the relationship, right?
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
Pew
I
pew.
get it.
Oh yeah, wait. All right, for sure. So it just sounds a lot about, for me just listening. A lot of you guys, this happened to you guys when you're younger, and a lot of you guys were like didn't know what to look for in a relationship in a man. So that also had a big impact to why, because a lot of you guys talked about seeing signs, but you guys weren't aware of it because you guys were just too focused on. And I think we all go through that. We all go through that as guys and men and women, especially if she a baddie, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? she a bad thing, you know.
And I look twice as good as the females he was cheating on me.
I'm telling you, the finer he is, the higher my tolerance is. Like,
hey,
oh God. Like, I will
gotta-
not put up with no shit from an ugly dude. Like, you cannot be not ugly. I'm sorry, that was me. But like somebody that's not that attractive in my eyes, like I don't be putting up with shit. Like, but like if you're fine, I'll go through a little bit. I'll go through a little.
hey.
I love it.
All right. Hey, this is a random question just popped in my mind. So like I know you guys all talked about getting cheated on, but does it matter the type of girl that he cheats on, if she's like good looking, if she's
Absolutely.
ugly? Does that matter?
Hell yeah!
You telling me?
Yes,
You telling me you gonna leave all this for that zero? You got me.
That's what I'm fucking saying. And it's like insulting to me. Like
if she's ugly, if she's uglier than you, then that's a big insult.
It is, because you risked it all for Shrek.
For that?
Like,
No.
don't do that.
I'm like, what?
Don't do that.
What planet
Because
did
if you're
this girl
gonna cheat
hail
on me-
from? Because no.
Yeah. If you're gonna cheat on me, make sure she's pretty, because I will not let you live that down. But if she's cute, like I get it. No, I don't get it, but like
I always say that too. And I'm like, or at least cheat with a bitch that like you're gonna be with. But I feel like I'm capping when I say that, because if it was for somebody he genuinely loved, I'd be like, what?
oh yeah. Same.
I'm like, damn,
Okay.
for real? Like, I for real lost you. Because it's one thing, people always say boys will be boys and men will be men. I don't believe that. I'm just like, what? I think I would rather have, man, I'm talking about which cheating I would rather. Neither, hopefully, but yeah, but like, I'm gonna stop.
So yeah, ideally don't cheat on me. I would like not to be cheated on, but if you are gonna cheat on me, all I ask is that when I show my friends, I can show them, yeah, see, I get it. Like she's cute. But like if she's ugly and you cheat on me, I'm gonna be so embarrassed for the rest of my life. Like you folded over what? Like
yeah. I would say just like say this objectively from a guy listening from the outside in. And I've had some friends that did date very good looking, like fine as girls, but they ended up going with somebody, cheated on somebody, but didn't only cheated on, but they ended up be committed to that person and end up marrying that person to a girl that wasn't as attractive as the previous one that he cheated on. A lot of times, like if they do cheat on with because it doesn't make sense, right? Why would he go with the girl that's less pretty or less attractive? But what I based my experience in talking to those guys, my friends, is just they just found something with her that you didn't offer.
Right.
That's just the feedback I get from those guys. Yeah, like either there was something about the other girl that she was able to provide him that the previous relationship didn't offer, because yeah, that was beyond the looks, it was beyond the sex. That was the feedback I got from a lot of those guys. But everybody's different.
Okay.
Did you guys ever like did that ever run through your mind? Like, what is she
No.
doing that I'm not doing? Did that ever cross your mind or no?
Cheating has, like, to me, cheating has nothing to do with the person getting cheated on and everything to do with the person that's cheating. Like, I've never questioned what does this girl have that I don't have. It's just it's just all about him. I've never questioned myself after getting cheated on. But I don't know, I know some girls who do, but I personally have never asked what does she have to offer that.
Yeah, I mean,
I have asked that though.
Okay, to your partner.
Yeah, because it was somebody I genuinely cared about. So I was just like, I want to know where I lost you. Because I didn't lose you now. I lost you a little before that. And I wanted to ask to know. It wasn't insulting myself like, oh, I'm lacking something. But what did you feel like I was lacking?
What did you say?
It was a long distance relationship. So, and I get what you mean about how something was missing and it's like beyond sex. But this one was about sex. Like it was. So because we were so far apart, and that's the only thing that I wasn't physically there to do.
Oh yeah, so he lacked the proximity. Like he didn't get that proximity from you.
Yeah, the dude wasn't shit. Like I said, like I don't know,
but he was
like, at least like there's no personality. Is she even funny? Like no, she wasn't. Like so that's.
But she's close. you know.
Yeah, she was like next door, and I was just like, okay.
I can see the logical sense in that.
Yeah,
You know?
that's why when I asked and he had said that, I was just like,
Oh,
okay.
so
I couldn't decide whether it hurt or not. I'm just like, thank you. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, that shit made me so uncomfortable. I mean, it was honest, but I didn't really want to know. Like,
I have this weird question. Would it would it hurt more if the guy cheated on you with another man or with another girl? What's worse?
I roast his ass. Like, you was gay? Like, what? I'm like, oh
Yeah.
hell no.
Does it hurt more if he
If
cheats on you with a man?
No,
No.
Wait, what?
because like,
I said, does it hurt more if he cheated on you with the man than with
I
the
feel
woman?
like it hurts the same. I just be a little like, the fuck? If he sees me with the man, like, you use me for a cover to not tell people that you're gay? Hell no.
yeah,
That's
why I would have been like,
that.
I would have been so embarrassed. Oh hell no.
Yeah, I would be the fuck. That's just all. Yeah, the fuck.
All right, for sure. All right. So yeah. So Sila, you having that second question? What's the question?
Who?
Sila.
What's my question?
Yeah, you have a question? We just finished our first round. Yeah, what's your question?
What's my question? Oh, for not just for guys, but like for everybody, I've always wondered this. I kind of know the answer, but like I've always wondered, like genuinely, because this happens to me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I post like I don't really care what I post, so I'm very like revealing in my posts, if that makes sense. I show a lot of body and stuff, and I'm very open about like sex and stuff like that. And so because I'm like that, and because I post about like my body openly, and I post, and like if I have an opinion about sex, like and I like want to share it, then I will. Not usually on my main stuff, but like when I was younger and I had like a second account, I would like talk about sex on it a lot. But like if I had an opinion about it, and so because of that, I've lost a lot of respect from a lot of females. And I also have almost no respect from like men. Not like they degrade me very openly, but it's just that they feel like because I post sexual stuff, that it's easy, like that I'm easy or whatever, which is like no shame on girls who like who are easy. I guess I don't even know how to say that in a non-offensive way, but like, is it, why do people think that? And also I've gotten this a lot, so like I just want to know why people think that because somebody is open about their sexuality and their body, that you feel like that they're easy, or that like they don't deserve the same respect as somebody who covers up, and that it's because they're insecure. I hear that a lot, and it's always confused me. Like I kind of know the answer and stuff like that. Like I've like asked like some people, so I kind of know the answer, but it's still like it's just like confuses me.
So your question is so what you're saying is why do guys are unattracted to girls that are very revealing on social media?
Yeah, I guess. Well, not even just guys, but like a lot of girls like just stopped fucking with me because I'm like that. Like they thought that I had like no self-respect or something. So I've lost a lot of girlfriends actually because I'm the way that I am.
Yeah, I think for the girls, I mean, I think religion has to do with it, morals has to do with it, people's values has to do with that. You know, for some women, it's okay to put yourself out there and showcase their sexuality, but for some women who are very traditional or very conservative, they may not, their values doesn't reflect what you're doing. They don't support.
Yeah, or yeah, like if you have an opinion about me, that's totally fine. Like anybody can have their opinion. I think for girls, what I'm asking is like, why do some females talk badly? Like it's like I don't have a problem if you have an opinion until you act on it, and then that's when I have a problem with you. But like for the girls part, for me asking the girls this is like, why do some females feel like why do they feel like it's okay? Like why do some females talk bad about girls who are the way that I am? And then men, why are you less attracted to women who are the way that I am, I guess?
Well, I'll let the female I'll let that girls answer that question for the female perspective, but I'll speak on the male part where you said that why most guys are unattracted to girls that are putting themselves out there on and revealing in very section and revealing themselves sexually on social media. So so it really comes down to what we talked about before, like how men we care about the way we are attracted to you. We care about your sexuality. So men are attracted to a woman's sexuality, and then for women, you guys care about what a man provides and the way he provides and protects you. So for us, like for a lot of guys, you know, the way we attract to you is based on your sexuality. So when we want to be with you and we want to commit to you, we only want to be the man to be the only man to have access to your sexuality as a woman. We don't want, so when a guy really likes you as a woman, he is very territorial about you. He doesn't want to share you with other women in any kind of form of expression of sexuality, whether it's with other men or even if it's with social media. So a lot of guys, yeah. So for us, because when you're on social media, putting yourselves out there, you're pretty much what you're doing is, and you may not be aware of it, you're literally advertising your sexuality to all men to see. If that makes sense. So if I want to be with you, like if I'm committed to my woman, I don't want any other man to see what my woman has. That's for me. That's how men really feel. Like we are very territorial. So when you're out there posting, revealing pictures of yourself out there on social media, then you're pretty much giving everything. You're pretty much exposing and revealing your sexuality for the whole world, for every man to see. And then for a lot of guys, like you said, when they see that, then I also know that a lot of guys are also you're gonna give unnecessary attention to guys to think that you're open, and then these guys are gonna reach out to you. And for a guy, like number one, I don't want my woman to be shared with other men. I don't want other men to see my woman, and I don't even want other men to even think to have a thought in their mind that they can approach you because you're mine. That's your, like, that's my woman. And for a lot of guys, they don't have the balls to tell you this. A lot of guys won't tell you this because you know, they might be afraid that you're gonna walk away from the relationship, or they don't have the masculine energy to tell you, hey, like I'm not okay with this. Most guys are not as masculine as they are today. But if a guy really wants you and really wants to take you seriously, he does care about your sexuality. Maybe he may be cool with it in the beginning stages of the relationship, but if he's gonna take you seriously, like I guarantee you, most guys don't want that. They don't want their woman out there putting themselves. I don't want any man to see my woman that way. Like I want to be the only man to see your body. And I'm not saying this in a very controlling. I don't want to controlling way. I don't want to control you and tell you what to do. It's just for me, like that's my woman. That's the way I see it. I want that to be something I only have access to. I don't want any man to have access to that. It's pretty much it's like a house that has a for sale sign, if that makes sense. Like when you buy the house, what do? You take the for sale sign off, right?
Yes. I thought it was rhetorical.
Yeah. So you take the for sale sign off so people know you're not for sale. So when you out there on social media, you're advertising your sexuality to unnecessary people to think that you're still for sale, even though you're not. But you still have to. That's what happens when you put yourself on social media. That for sale sign is still open to guys, because guys, oh, look at this bad chick, DM, like I'm gonna send them a DM, I'm gonna send them a dick pic. I don't want my woman to go to that. Like I want every man to know that this is mine. This woman's not available. And I'll also reciprocate that. I'm gonna live my lifestyle the same way to make sure that there's no woman I'm not giving unnecessary attention to any woman. Because let me ask you guys this question. Because I know you're both on social media and you guys, you know, put yourselves out there a little bit out there. But let me ask you guys a question. If you were with a guy and he was giving his attention to every single girl, he was laughing at their jokes, he was just talking to every single girl you meet him, you go in public, he was just giving his attention to every single girl. How would that make you feel?
But I don't feel like that's the same thing.
No, but let me ask you, how would that make you feel?
I'll slap him.
I'll slap the shit out of him.
I mean, he's not cheating on you, right? He's not cheating on you. He's not sleeping with this woman. He's just giving his attention to every single woman he sees. He's giving his attention to him.
Yeah, I'd definitely be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah,
that's how men feel when you put your body out there on social media for everyone to see when we are in a committed relationship. even you're giving unnecessary attention to certain men that they shouldn't they shouldn't even think that they have a chance with you. Because if I give unnecessary attention to women or laugh at their jokes, those women might think that I'm flirting with them. You know what I'm saying? Those women might think that there is an opening to have access to me if I give unnecessary attention to women. So when you give unnecessary attention on social media, your sexuality, when that sexuality should only be access to me because you're my woman, that's what you're doing. You're giving unnecessary attention to men, and that's, for me, that's how I feel about it. The same way you feel about me giving unnecessary attention to women, even though I'm not sleeping with them, because you're not sleeping with this man online, you're not talking to him, but you're giving unnecessary attention that I know you're getting, and that makes, for me, I don't want that from the woman I'm going to commit to. The same way you don't want your man going out there in public and just laughing at every girl's jokes and giving them unnecessary attention when he should just shut the hell up and just be right next to you. You know, and let everybody know, hey, this is my woman. Like, nah, like, don't even come over here. So that's how that's what I'm saying. That's how men feel about it. And the problem is, in today's society, if a man puts boundaries on your sexuality, especially modern day dating, a lot of times it's seen as like he's controlling, his toxic masculinity. He's trying to take over your life. He's like he's a misogynist or whatever. And that's like the feminist movement now. If I tell a woman, hey, don't put yourself out there, then a lot of these women, oh, you're trying to control me. I was like, no, I don't want these guys to think that they can have access to you, think they can give you attention. You're my woman. I don't want no man to see the things that I should be the only one to see it. And that's one of the things I do notice for a lot of girls. Like they're not willing to give up their social media for the benefit of the relationship. But like I say, if you really know, that's how you know a guy really cares about you, he cares about how you give out your sexuality to other men. If a guy's not willing to do that, I'm telling you, like, he's not about it. Like, he's not serious. Because if he's really serious about you, he don't want no man have access to you. And I'm sure you guys should feel the same way about your man. Like, if you want your man, if you guys are serious about your man, you don't want no woman that has access to him too.
Right.
Can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
I personally, I just want to like say something about that, but I personally don't think that posting revealing pictures or whatever, like if you want to post a picture like showing your ass or your boobs or whatever, I personally don't think that necessarily means that like other people have access to you or whatever. Obviously they can see like stuff that like you'd want only your partner to see, but what I've always had an issue with is that how other people react to me feeling good in a picture shouldn't have an effect on a relationship if it has nothing to do with us. Like, not like it has nothing to do with us, but like if you know that like I'm not gonna like entertain like them hitting me up, or I'm not about to like whatever, it's just literally just a picture that I feel good in and that I want to post, like it's something that I feel like pretty in or something that I feel good in. If I just want to post that because it's something that I feel good in, like the attention that I receive from the post, I don't like to think that has an issue like with us, because how people react to certain things shouldn't be like a deal breaker, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just like, because I've had people tell me the same thing, like guys that I've talked to, they've told me like the same thing, but it's just like, that's just how I've always like viewed it, I guess.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. I'm just saying is, by putting yourself out there on social media, you're gonna warrant unnecessary attention from certain men. And for me, I don't want guys to ever think that they have a chance with you. But if you're putting yourself out there like that, then you are letting people know. Like men, guys, when you already know, when guys see ass, when guys see titties, that's the only thing they think. Like, I want to DM that girl. They don't even care about if you're married or not.
That's their problem, and not mine.
But that's what I'm saying is you're getting unnecessary attention I don't want you to have. The same way I would, like I told you before, if I'm out there just talking to every girl and laughing at every girl's jokes, I'm not sleeping with them. I'm not trying to be with them. I'm just giving them attention. But like I said, for some women, they might mistake that for, hey, maybe this guy, maybe later on I'm going to send him a DM on social media, she's gonna send me, she's gonna give me unnecessary attention that you may see that you don't want your man to have. Because you guys all know, like when you see a woman talking to your man, like you know when she's trying to like slide, when she's trying to flirt with it. Can we both agree?
Mm-hmm.
Right, you can tell if a woman that's trying to flirt with your man, you can tell that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Is that a good feeling to know that I'm out there just talking to all these ladies and they're always trying to flirt with me, or would you just prefer me to say, hey, not to be like that and just be reserved and not to be giving my attention like that to every single woman I meet? So it's that's how you feel. That's how men feel. So for me, like I know I trust you, but I just don't like that all these men think that they have a shot with you, and then they're gonna send you DMs and unnecessary things that I don't want you to ever go through. It's just something I think about. It's gonna be on top of my mind. Like shoot,
Right.
same thing with you guys. If I'm all out there talking to all these girls and then just laughing with them, in your mind, like, hey, what if this girl does this, or what if this happens? It just creates unnecessary anxiety and issues that we can just avoid if you just. I don't mind like just posting pictures, but don't post like family pictures of us and the family. But if you're out there just posting your ass and titties and very sexualized pictures, then for me I'm not cool.
Right.
And I know a lot of girls that don't understand that, and I see a lot of girls too. Also, like they wonder why like they are very beautiful girls on social media, and they wonder why a lot of guys like don't pursue them with relationship attraction. Because for us, when I see a girl that's on social media just putting their body out there, for me, I just know that there's a lot. She probably has like 1,000 DMs on her phone. So I'd rather just go with a girl that doesn't get that attention, and she can give me the same love and energy that she can give me with the other girl, and I don't have to worry about that. It's like unnecessary.
Right.
Like just me and you in this relationship. You have access to me. I have access to you. And yeah, and then I think a lot of girls today like. Let me. Would you guys, if you guys met the right man, and he loves you, would you guys be able to give up your social media to be in a relationship, to marry a guy like if you met the man of your dreams?
Oh hell yeah.
Give up social media?
Yeah, it was like, you know what? Yeah, give up social media.
Yes, no doubt about it.
Would you give up
I don't
social
even
media?
really care about social media like that. So yeah.
All right, okay. So, but it's funny, like when I ask that question for a lot of women, like the modern day women, a lot of them are not willing to let social media, they're not willing to give up social media for a real relationship. They're like, no, if you can, and it's crazy to me because social media is all about, honestly, if we want to keep it 100, it's just attention. If that's why people want to be on social media, because
like validation.
Validation. So if a woman's not willing to give that up to be in a relationship with me, that shows me that number one, she's very insecure, and number two, she values validation and attention from people she doesn't even know more than me. I'm giving her the validation. I'm giving her the love. I'm going out there working hard and trying to feed this family. I'm here for you, but you care more about the opinions and attention from people you don't even know, and you value that over me. That's how I see it. But it's just crazy to me. A lot of women won't do that. No, I can't give this up for this relationship. I was like, you don't even. Social media is just attention. That's all that is. Unless you're making money. If you're making millions of dollars, unless that's your career, you're making money off. I understand that. If you're making money off social media, and that's how you make it. That's how you make your bread. Hey, I get that. But if you're not making no money on social media, and you can't sacrifice, you're willing to value that over our relationship. This real here, the real life, and not the fake life on social media. It's crazy. Like a lot of girls won't do that.
Right.
Like, but that shows me like a lot of these girls out there are very insecure, and they're craving for attention, and they care more about the attention than real life, attention and security that a man can give you in a relationship. I just feel like that's just the movement nowadays. How, it's kind of That's why my guys care. That's why guys don't, when they see women out there on social media like that, then that's why a lot of guys don't. They only see you. You only get sexual attention, but you won't get committed attention, like guys in your DMs like looking for marriage or looking for, like, you get guys in your DM looking for sex because that's what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sila? I see your eyes rolling.
They're not
What do you
rolling. I respect your opinion. No, I would delete my social media if it was causing like I would delete my social media if it was something about like social media specifically that like, and if he was going to, like, if we both agreed to just delete social media, that's like I would give it. And honestly, I delete my social media like every week anyways. But like if a man ever asked me, because we're together, like if a man ever asked me to cover up like and stop being who I am, because that's just who I am. Like I'm just a very open person. If I feel good in something, then I like to like, you know, and I want to like, you know, post a video or something on my story or something. I'll never stop being who I am, which is like a very open person because somebody asked me to, even if we were in a relationship or even if we were in love, because I'd like to think that even if we're that far in the relationship that, you know, like that I'm that kind of person. So I would give up my social media for somebody, but I wouldn't change who I am for somebody.
Yeah. I'm not asking you to change. I know I'm not asking you to change. I want you to be yourself. I want you to feel beautiful. All I'm saying is carry yourself in a certain way that you don't give unnecessary attention to certain men. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm not gonna be the same way. Like I'm gonna carry myself in a certain way. So I make sure that I don't attract unnecessary attention from certain women if I'm gonna be with you. You know, because you gotta think about it. The divorce rate in America is over 50%. Over 50% of marriages get the over 50% of divorces get the every 50% of marriages become divorced. 80% of those marriages happen. 80% of relationships happen in the workplace. So a lot of times, like you say, just people are just social media and the modern day culture, the way people live. A lot of the way people move today is they move in a way that they're not moving in a way that to let people know, hey, I'm married, I'm in a relationship, don't approach me. You know, that's how people should move. So like a lot of people are in relationships, but the way they live their lifestyle is like they're single. But do you know people like that? Like I know people on social media, you look at their profile, you think they're single, but they're in a relationship. But that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have friends like that?
That's me.
I've been guilty of it.
Yeah, but but as I'm saying is, so if you live your, so if you know, that's just the way I see it. Like if I'm gonna be in a relationship, I'm gonna move in a way that people, when they meet me, they know, oh, that dude's in a relationship. Don't fucking approach that guy. That's how I will move. And I expect my woman to move the same way. But the problem with today, modern day dating, people in relationships, but then they move like they're single. And then they wonder why they meet other people, and they wonder why they get DMs from other people, and they wonder why like cheating happens, and they wonder why all this, because like you don't move in a way to put boundaries around you. Like, oh, dude, I'm in a relationship, but of course, if you say something about it, oh no, he's controlling. Oh, he's trying to, he's toxic. Oh, he's trying to be toxic masculine. No, like he's trying to tell you, look, we are in a relationship, and if we're gonna take this seriously, then there's a different way we have to move, and there's boundaries we have to set if this is something that we have to be committed. But today, like it's so, if they're pushing people to be independent, they're pushing people, oh, no boundaries, be free. Not relationship, there has to be boundaries. There has to be rules, standards, things to make sure that we both live by so this can work. And if there's nothing set, just like any other game, just like any other business, just there's rules. Everything has a rule. But you can't build something without rules and certain standards. But that's what people want. They want a relationship. They want a relationship, but they still want the benefits of being single.
Right.
Like if you have kids, you realize you can't party every weekend. You have to take care of your kids. It's a different lifestyle you have to live. If you have kids, you can't live. If you have kids, you can't still live like you're single. But people still, they want the relationship, but they still want the benefits of single, which is, I don't understand. That's why relationships don't work out nowadays. And people are like, so that's why I would say like, yeah, like if you're out there social media, like, and putting yourself out there, you're pretty much what you're saying to people in the world that you're still what?
That's not what I'm saying though. That's
no. Well, that's why that's like perception is reality. It's not about what you think, is what you're putting out there. So
how people are taking it in, regardless.
Exactly. So it's the way it's how people see you. It doesn't matter what you think; it's how you see it. So if you're out there revealing pictures of yourself, and that's what all they see is somebody that's open. I want to have sex with that person. That person's probably single. I don't see a family. I don't see a husband. I don't see a ring. Oh, that's easy. Let me slide into that. That's why you're putting out there.
Right.
And you're getting unnecessary attention when you can just avoid it. And then, so if I'm gonna have a family, my profile is gonna be like my wife.
Yeah.
Family. Kids. That's what you're gonna see. That's what I'm gonna put out there. So yeah, there's this wall right here, and good luck trying to climb this wall. But that's the thing, like everybody wants a relationship, but they still want to be single. Live their life like a single. Like you can't have it both ways. If you want to be single, be single. If you want a relationship, they be ready for the sacrifices that you gotta have if you want to be in a relationship. But today, people don't either understand that, they never been taught that, or they're just confused, and nobody says anything. It's okay, So that's why I would say. I'm telling you, if the guy's really serious about you, he's gonna tell you that he will say something about the way you carry yourself about sexuality, not in a very demeaning, not in a very controlling, a very toxic way. He would just say, "Hey, look, I love what you're doing. I think you're beautiful, but hey, can you please act a certain way? Can you please cover up?" And not saying that to devalue you or to put you down. He just cares about the relationship. Like, I don't want this to fail.
I think if I was approached like that, it would be a different situation. But
yeah,
normally when I've been approached about something like that, it's like, oh, you just want attention, like take that down, like and stuff like that. That's what I don't fuck with.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like that, like in like a respectful way. If I was approached that way, then that's when it's a different thing. But like usually it's not that way. So that's why I say what I
just that's what I just noticed about relationships today is like people in a relationship but they live like they're single, and they wonder why things never work out. So like if you're in a relationship, you gotta live like you're in a relationship, act like a relationship, the way you talk to people, how you dress, the way you perceive, the way you move, so people know that you are in a relationship. But that's not how it is today. So that's why people still DM you. That's why people still try to holler at you. That's why people still give you unnecessary attention. And the thing is, we're all human, right? We're all human. So if you're human, there will be some bad in a relationship. You guys know this already. There's gonna be some tough moments, some up and downs, right? So if you're having a bad day in a relationship, Sila, and you hate and you're arguing and you hate the other, and you're just having a bad day with them, and you're going through a tough argument, and then you go through your DMs and see some guy say some nice things to you, you're gonna give him your human side's gonna take over and you know what? Fuck this nigga.
What human side? I'm not that type of person.
I'm just saying because that's why it's so important to move in a way you don't get unnecessary temptation and unnecessary attention, because we're all human at the end of the day. The reason why I will live very strictly, because I know I'm a guy, like I'm human, so I know that there is a chance for me that if I meet a very attractive woman, I might fall temptation to that. But the best way I can protect myself from that is to don't give no females no attention, unnecessary attention, and just move in a certain way I can avoid that. Because I know I'm human. I'm not saying I'll never cheat. I'm not gonna say that, but because I'm human. But I'm just saying is I value my relationship, I value my family, and I'm moving away to not put myself in certain situations that I might fall temptation to. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. All right, so so we've come to the conclusion. But yeah, keep posting. Keep posting, do your thing. Keep posting your.
I'll never stop. But it was nice to hear it. But I'll never.
Yeah, keep posting your pics. But I'm telling you, if you can find if you find a guy that wipes you up from your DMs, hey, like that, I'm telling you, you're beating the odds. I'm just saying. 99.9% of the guys are going to DM you on your based on your pictures. I'm not DMing you looking for long term. I know that for sure.
Well, 99.9% of these motherfuckers couldn't even get my attention. So.
All right, malo toa. All right, okay.
Did she leave again? Do you have to?
I think she dropped out. She had to drop out to take care of some things. I think her kids. But yeah, ladies, we've come to the end of the podcast. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Everybody watching right now, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys are still tuning in, the last thing I just want to ask you guys, to close off the podcast, what do you guys think? What was your thoughts on the podcast? I guess did you take away anything from it? Did you learn anything from it? Or
I think it's just being equal.
Go ahead, Lena. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for me overall, this podcast just helped me really see how raw it is. Like you said, it's very rare for a man to be able to say like where his faults were. It's like, okay, I don't like this, or this part's my fault, or like mostly the part where I don't want you to do this because you think that they're gonna because they think that we're gonna leave or like take away from the relationship because of that, or take a step back. So that part I've never heard before. I noticed that guys do that a lot, but it kind of gives me a chance to be more open so that they feel comfortable enough to do something like that, to state that, yeah. So that's basically what I took away.
Yeah. And Lena, just to ask you, like, if a guy is doing something that's you feel like that's not going to be beneficial to the relationship, you would speak up, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly, right? But so I know for a lot of men, they don't do that no more.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, I think we need to push men. Hey, it's okay. I think for a lot of guys, they're just afraid because I feel like today, if you tell a woman, because of feminism is so big right now in America.
Right.
So the thing is, if I tell a woman that to have boundaries and to stop doing this, they'll label me as a misogynist or I'm toxic masculinity. No, like a guy is just he's trying to make the relationship. He's telling you, can you do this, please, so we can make this work?
Yeah, this would make me more comfortable.
Yeah, it will make me more comfortable. And you're more than willing to tell me what makes you comfortable. Can I be okay with tell you? But because of society telling men, hey, if I express my feelings, I'm a weak man. If I tell a woman what to do, I'm toxic masculinity. So it's for a lot of guys, they feel like it's a lose-lose situation. For them, they won't just say anything. They'll just move on to the next girl.
Yeah. So that definitely helped me, like just knowing to be when to be considerate, when to hold my tongue, so that there's a safe space for them to open up about something that they genuinely concerned is going to affect us down the road.
Yeah, especially if you met the right guy, right? Because you guys know this, like it's hard to find some good people out there. So if you meet the right guy, like you definitely gotta make it work. So thank you for sharing that, Lena. Sila, in your how'd you feel? I loved your unpopular opinions today. So what you take out of the podcast?
Kind of like the same thing, because I do try to stay as open-minded as possible. But some things that you brought up, I didn't really think about. I think it's just because sometimes, like, I think I need to, like, dig a little bit deeper into what is being told to me, kind of. So, like, if, like, a guy I'm with, like, tells me, like, can you cover up? Like, it's not necessarily always because they're trying to be controlling, but because they don't feel comfortable with it. And in relationships, you have to make compromises. And so I think, like if I'm going to ask somebody to make compromises for me, like I have to be a little bit more open-minded to what they have to say, I guess. But yeah, so sometimes I think it's just that I'm not like, I'm hearing what they're saying, but I'm not listening to what they're meaning. And so I think that's something that I took away from this that I might have to start doing.
I'll take the mic any day. Hey, I do want to ask Sila real quick. Doesn't it feel good when you're with a man, right? And you know that no other woman has a chance, and the only things that he shows you is only you, only you have access to. Doesn't that feel good about it, like to have that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the attention he gives you, the love he gives you, know for a fact he doesn't give that to nobody.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make you feel so secure, so comfortable?
Absolutely. Like stuff like that is what drives me into never overstepping my role. Like stuff like that never forces me out of character. That's the biggest thing for me. Don't force me out of character. Yeah.
And also it makes you so confident, comfortable in a relationship that you don't even entertain anything else. Right. So that's what I'm saying is, if we men and women, we need to act in a way where a man has to do that for you, but also for women. Also, like for me, it's so beautiful when I know like I'm the only man that has access to a sexuality, and no other man has that. And for me, that just gives me so much confidence that I can go and do what I do and conquer the world, knowing I don't have to worry because I know she doesn't give it to nobody.
You know what you're coming home to.
I know what I'm coming home to, and I know that she's not giving this to anybody. And that's just it's a feeling a lot of people never feel because of social media, the empowerment. We get to do anything we want to do. There's no boundaries. A lot of people never get that feeling. That's why so many people have anxiety. They're still in a relationship, but they're still worried if the relationship's going to work out.
Yeah, like one foot in one.
I have so many friends right now. I have relationships, but they worry about whatever is going to work out. There's no confidence. There's no comfortability. There's no faith that it's going to work out. They're just like, oh my God, hopefully he won't leave me. Or hopefully, they're still like they still have doubt in their mind that this is not going to work out, and they're in a relationship.
Right.
And I just think that these conversations that we had is beautiful. The other things that I learned from you guys also, and that we can both express how men and women really, really feel. So we get to a point where we can come together and make compromises. Oh, okay, this is what you need from me, got you. This is what I need from you, got you. And let's make it happen. So that way we know we both got each other's backs and we're both comfortable that I don't have to look anywhere else because I know what I'm getting from her. You know what I'm saying? Like I know because we're always built for comfort. When we're comfortable, it's nice. And the only time we look outside is just because nothing is stable. There's no comfort. There's nothing. We didn't build anything. So that's why people are still looking elsewhere. And then, but yeah. But anyways, it was cool. Thank you for all the funny stories and the laughs. And the dope stories that we had.
Oh God.
But thank you so much for you guys for tuning in. You guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Have fun. And like you guys, definitely definitely tune in for the next week episode and check out my channel to watch this for all the other shows that we posted. And if you guys have any feedback, if you guys want, I'll put their social media handles on the bottom of this video so you guys can check them out. If you guys want DM, hey, open, whatever, whatever you guys want. But thanks so much for the love, and see you guys next time.